The Jake Asman Show will begin shortly. Thanks to all these great Patreon members who help support the show. Get your super chats ready. Jake will be here in just a moment. If you love the New York Jets, this is the place to be. And now, the Jake Asman Show.
Adam Schefter versus Aaron Glenn. We'll tell you what Shefty said about the latest with the Jets. That and much more. It's the Jake Asman Show. Let's hit it and get it started.
Man, our Jets are primed to win another offseason, baby. We bleed Jets green each and every day. Will the playoff drought finally end? Kings of the offseason, baby. This is what we do. At least we have Garrett Wilson. We have Breece Hall. Please subscribe and hit the like button below. Super chat, baby. Cut the line. We have Sauce Gardner. We have Quinn Williams. Prepare to be underdogs. Now it's time to talk all things New York Jets. It's the Jake Asman Show.
Here we go. Show number 2 on the day. Hope everyone is staying cool with this heat wave on the Northeast. Hit the like button. Make sure you subscribe to the channel. And a quick reminder, if you're coming to Tampa for Jets and the Bucks, that we have discounts on hotel rooms available, group tickets to sit with ASMANIACS, and a whole lot more planned for that weekend. Join the Patreon, and you'll get all the information. Patreon.com/Jake Asman Show. We got our tailgate on Sunday. That's game day, September 21st. And then, of course, the night before, the happy hour at Gaspar's Patio Bar and Grill. For more info on that and for more info on everything Tampa, make sure you join my Patreon, patreon.com/Jake Asman Show. Let's talk all things Jets with a first-time guest. I was a frequent guest on this guy's radio show on ESPN in the Albany area. He now covers the New York Jets for the Jet Press. Mike Giarraputo makes his debut on our show. Mike, it feels weird me bringing you on and not the other way around, but glad we can make this happen, man. Your passion for the Jets has always been awesome, so appreciate you making some time to come on today.
Absolutely, man. Thanks for having me on. And yeah, we had you on probably about once a month to talk Jets back in Albany, but it's great to be on the show. I was going to do it on Saturday, but I happened to be jumping out of a plane that day. But we're back. We're here on a Tuesday. Jake, thanks for having me. I'm excited to talk some Jets now.
Yeah, I'm glad you brought that up. How was skydiving? I mean, where did you do it? What was that experience like?
It was absolutely ridiculous. I mean, I had never even been on a roller coaster. I just said, you know what? It was something that I had been wanting to do for so long. Every summer I'd say to my friends, like, I'm doing it. I almost had to shut myself up. Got one other friend to do it with me. We were out east in Shirley, New York. Had a nice weekend at my buddies out east. So it was just a great weekend. I'd recommend it if you don't want to do it. It's probably scarier than you imagine it to be, but it was awesome. Winds blowing it. My hair was all the way up. It's 120 miles an hour when you're going down. You deploy it, you get cinched back. I mean, it's just absolutely insane. I can't compare it to anything. It was absolutely wild.
I can't even imagine. Well, good for you, man. I appreciate you popping on today to talk some Jets with us. So I got a clip here. I found this interesting. Adam Schefter was a guest on ESPN New York yesterday, Don Hahn and Rosenberg. And Alan Hahn asked Adam Schefter about how things are really quiet with the Jets right now. And Schefter had some comments here that I think are quite telling on what it's going to be like for Aaron Glenn and the media, at least going into the season. This was Schefter on, once again, ESPN New York yesterday.
Schefter, on the Jets side of things, it's amazing because for me, the last couple of years, the last 2 years especially, the Jets just feel like they have been a daily story for obvious reasons that go even just beyond just having Aaron Rodgers. There was just so much going on there. It has gotten so quiet at Florham Park right now.
On purpose.
So what should we expect this to be? Where it's Aaron Glenn, that's the front man, that's the voice of the franchise. It's a very strong voice, clearly. And that's it?
He has made that clear to the team, okay, and the organization. Guys, we don't want anyone talking. Like, you know, I'm going to stand up here and I'm going to represent this organization. I mean, I'm just telling you, like, there are people there that haven't returned my call. Like, I'm like, okay, fine. Okay, I got it. Clearly they want, one voice speaking for this team. They don't like everybody, all the things that have happened in the past. New regime, new perspective, new outlook, and they want to approach this in a different way. And I don't think it's coincidental that everything's been quiet, because that's the way that the lead man wants it done. And that's going to work for a while. Now, inevitably, you know, it'll soften up some. It has to over time. But right now, he has made it very clear. They don't want all these voices talking.
I find it interesting that Schefter goes out of his way there, Mike, to note that people that he's had, you know, relationships with clearly in that building, they're no longer now returning his calls. There's clearly been an edict from Aaron Glenn to the entire organization. No one's talking anymore. No more leaks. This is how it's going to be. Very Parcellsian. I hope it works for Glenn. Obviously, you got to win if you're going to do all this. Otherwise, people start running their mouths. People start trying to basically cast blame on others so they could give themselves a softer landing spot, all that. But I actually think this is the right approach from Aaron Glenn. But I'm just telling everyone, you know, the media can't wait to pounce on Glenn if this team struggles, because Schefter being like, yeah, they're not returning my calls. He's like scoffing at it, like, okay, let's see if this works. Like, you're still the Jets. There was still that condescending like remark, if you will, in that answer there. That's at least how I interpreted it.
Yeah. Well, that's not going to go away until we actually change that narrative. So I think I definitely agree with Aaron Glenn for taking this approach. And I mean, he's seen both sides of what football teams can be. Not only when he was on the Jets, he started out in the Jets. I think it was 10-38. The team went in his first 3 seasons. They get Parcells in there. It's Parcells said is one of his favorite guys to coach was Aaron Glenn. So I think he can take a lot from Parcells, one of the better coaches in Jets history. And I think if it starts like this with us not returning Schefter's calls, I don't think Schefter is a bad dude, but what is the point? Like, I mean, you look at the other off seasons, just look at 2 off seasons ago when we just had gotten Rodgers and he's taking a trip and he's doing all these other things. Like, this is the best way for us to go about it. It has been, as they were talking about on ESPN New York a few days ago, a quiet offseason for the Jets, and I love it. Don't you love it? I mean, maybe there's not as much to talk about, but it's just, when have we ever really won the offseason in the past 10 years? I mean, we think we do every time. I think we had a good offseason. I don't know. I usually get proven wrong about just about every season, but I think this is the best way for Glenn to go about it, at least starting as a head coach. He knows how to change cultures. He saw it in Detroit. They were a horrible. They were a joke of a team, just like the Jets when he got there. And now, you know, they're a perennial contender. So I like this approach from our new head coach here.
Yeah, to me, logically, it makes a lot of sense what Glenn's trying to do. I do think, though, he also has to have that awareness of, hey, you can't always just be combative with the media. Like, if there's a brutal loss, you can't be more upset about a question that Rich Cimini or Brian Costello or whoever's asking you at the press conference, because fans aren't going to like that when the game's actually started. This team's losing and he's doing that. I don't think he will, though. Like, that's the thing. I know Alan Hahn had some comments we played on this show that Glenn needs to lose the act. I don't think it's an act. I think it's genuine. And I do think it's the right kind of message to the organization. Like, hey, man, I'm the front-facing voice, and all the other voices we've had, like, we don't want that. We want to quiet the noise. He used the term move in silence at the owners' meetings this year. I think all this makes sense. Like, I don't think the Jets are doing anything wrong. I just think there is going to come a point in time when this team is going to face adversity. And how does Aaron Glenn handle that? Because you can't be combative every time you lose, because chances are this Jets team is going to lose more games this year than they win.
Yeah, we're not allowed. And I feel like we're not allowed to get to that level yet. I mean, if we're a good team, we can have a few, things slip through the cracks and still be fine. But when you're a team like the Jets, it's just, you can't have anything distracting you. And with Saleh, I don't think Saleh was a horrible head coach. I just don't think he was really able to handle all that came with not only New York, but with Rodgers and all the other things that he had to deal with. So I think with Glenn, and just one example, I mean, I thought that this is kind of out of nowhere, but I thought the Shedeur Sanders slide was a little ridiculous. The fact that he got to the 5th round. I was in favor of the Jets using a pick to get him, but I did understand, and this kind of ties into our conversation here, how they didn't want that, because what would all of this summer have been? It would have been all eyes on us and what's going on with Shedeur and is he going to start and all these other things. Like, I think they're just avoiding anything like that. And that's why you get a guy like Justin Fields. I mean, Fields, every teammate, I mean, even DJ Moore, at the end of Fields' last season in Chicago was saying, I don't want to play for any other quarterback. So he wants guys that are actually able to come into the locker room, be liked, and not say anything to the media like an Aaron Judge would, like a Jalen Brunson would. So I think Glenn's approach so far, it's only June 24th, but I'm loving him as a coach so far in this offseason.
Yeah, I think the big thing with like Shador, it would have been hypocritical because part of the reason they moved away from Rodgers is they didn't want all the noise that comes with him. The celebrity quarterback, to use another Parcellian like line that Glenn has referenced. So I think they're all about quieting the noise. It's just hard to do that when you're the Jets because there's always going to be noise. Like even when the Jets are bad, they're never bad in silence. You know, like there's certain teams that are just lightning rods for attention. The Mets are like that, and they're no longer like that because they've won and they've changed the narrative. The Knicks were like that forever. They were in even worse shape than the Jets, and the Knicks finally got stability, and they're no longer the butt of jokes. They were just one of the final 3 teams left. So, like, it could be done, but you got to have the right people, and that's where you hope that Woody Johnson actually got it right with these hires, that Glenn and Darren Muji are the right people for this organization.
Yeah, I mean, you look how any good team is built, and it's hard to get past the owner part of it, right? Because you look at all the teams that have won the Super Bowl, even the World Series, NBA, NHL, it usually starts from owner, GM, coach, and we don't really have the owner. But if he could just say, hey, I've kind of I mean, has he seen the last 13, 14 years? He just has to hands off, let Muji do his thing. I like Muji a lot. I like his background. I like what he did in Denver. I like Glenn a lot. I mean, I think it just has to be hands off from Woody, but yeah, I think this is the way to go about it if you're Glenn, in terms of, you know, kind of icing out Schefter, icing out all those guys. It's the offseason. We're not really that. I mean, picture us. I mean, if you weren't a Jets fan, if I wasn't a Jets fan, would you be that interested in the Jets this year? I mean, are they? No. I mean, last year, I'm sure there was general interest. We had to wait a whole nother year for Rodgers to play. The year before, Hard Knocks, Rodgers getting there, but now it's like, well, Justin Fields, maybe he could turn himself into a starter here. Or maybe, you know, Aaron Glenn's a new coach there. Not much else in terms of outside interest. So I do love it as a Jets fan, not being, you know, not the center. I wouldn't say we were the center of attention last offseason, but we were certainly one of the more intriguing teams. And I like how we're going in kind of quietly without these insane expectations. I know it's been a long time and we've been very, very patient as Jets fans, but I do like how this offseason is turning out so far in terms of media coverage.
Let's hope that Woody Johnson is now just too busy with his new soccer team to worry about the Jets for a couple of years.
Crystal Palace.
Crystal Palace. I don't know anything about Crystal Palace. I know they're coming off a really good season. Maybe you're more of a soccer guy, Mike, but
I think they had their first, I forget what maybe it was the FA Cup. I don't know. Someone in the comments will correct me, but they had their first trophy in like 70 years or something like that. But my knowledge with soccer died when I stopped playing FIFA. So that's about all I can contribute there.
Well, hopefully Woody is preoccupied with Crystal Palace and, you know, he lets Glenn do his thing with the Jets.
That would be a dream. That'd be a dream, Jake.
Hit the like button if you're tuned in. Mike, a first-time guest, you can read his work. The Jet Press also contributes to Fansided. He had a radio show on ESPN Albany that I would always join frequently. Him and Dan, his old co-host, did a great job. So good to get Mike on the show. He was the resident Jet fan on that show. So Mike making his debut with us here on the channel. Like the video, subscribe to this channel, and how about a giveaway for the diehard Jet fans who are watching content in June? Signed Anthony Beck jersey. I'll give it away at the end of the show. Daily raffle prize, our second on the day. First show, we gave away a replica Super Bowl III ring. This show, we're going to give away a signed Anthony Beck jersey, former first-round pick for the organization, their current analyst on radio with Bob Lashusen. So gift away to be entered, and shout out to Eli, who's the first to do it. He is in the Asmaniac raffle for 5 because Eli gifted 5 channel memberships.
You know, thinking is overrated.
But gifting is not. Eli, thank you very much. If you hear your name called, you could thank Eli for making you a channel member here on the show. Atanas Helen, Terminator T800, Marty McFly, Sea-Dog, and Keith. Also, let's give a shout out to OG Jet fan. That's Tommy. He gifted a channel membership to listener Source Gardner. So, OG, appreciate you. You're in our Anthony Beck signed jersey raffle as well. Let's talk about some other things involving this team, Mike. I mean, overall, what are your expectations for this Jets team? We just talked about how the expectations with Glenn are low. They're trying to move in silence. But as a Jet fan, what are you realistically hoping to see this year in 2025?
I'm hoping to see not a lot of, I mean, what we were kind of just talking about, not a lot of in-season stories with this team. I'm hoping to see a competitive team. I mean, just competitive. I'm not expecting playoffs. I'd love to see 7 or 8 wins. We did our schedule prediction in the Jet Press about a month ago when it came out. I said I ended up going 5-12. I didn't really go in saying they're going to win this. I went in and did it kind of live, like what I really thought was going to happen. But what I expect from the offense is a lot of running the football. I think we're going to see a lot of play action, a lot of different looks. We're already seeing the training camp videos of Joe Tippmann taking snaps and like a little play action from Joe Tippmann. But the defense, we know how Aaron Glenn likes to do it. He's not going to be, I mean, it wasn't the most talented roster in Detroit last year, especially on the defensive side, but he's not really rigid in terms of his personnel. He's not going to be like, well, it's going to be a 3-4 no matter what, or a 4-3 or a 5-3-2, like he'll line up anything. So I'm expecting to see a bunch of different looks from this Jets defense. A lot of man coverage he was known for in Detroit. We know that, but hopefully competitive. I mean, the answer is hopefully competitive, but I think it all really boils down to what is Aaron Glenn as a head coach. We've seen him as a defensive coordinator. We know he likes to get. He took offense to, when he's called a defense. Well, you're a defensive minded head coach. Like we almost like let Saleh off the hook in terms of that. Like, well, he's a defensive head coach and the defense is great. So we kind of let him off the hook for years with that. But Glenn takes offense to that. I think Todd Haley was, I forget what show he was on the other day, but he was talking about Aaron Glenn and all these different stories when he was working with him. And he would, like be on Zoom with Haley and talking about the offense only for 4, 5, 6 hours with him. So as a coach, I think he's got a good mindset. Don't just be like on the defensive side of the ball and tune out the offense, because you have a first-time offense coordinator as well in Tanner Engstrand. But I think it all boils down to Aaron Glenn. Are we going to be able to rush the passer? We didn't do it as effectively as we did the previous 2-3 seasons. And as we know, the quarterback, Justin Fields.
Let me ask you about Justin Fields, because that to me is the biggest unknown with this team. If he has a Darnold or Mayfield-like career renaissance, this team talent-wise could actually be pretty good. What are your expectations for Fields? Are you higher on Fields now than you were when they signed him? Kind of walk us through your feeling on Fields throughout this offseason. Well,
he was who I wanted, who I thought we were going to get, but I wasn't throwing a parade. I mean, I think he can be a decent NFL quarterback. Is he ever going to be good enough to compete with, the Josh Allens, Pat Mahomes, Lamar Jackson, Joe Burrow? I don't think so. I think that's a really optimistic thought, if anyone has that thought. But, I mean, is this the best offensive line he's had in his career, which is weird to say because he's a Jet? It probably is. Is it maybe the most talented number one receiver he's had? Garrett Wilson, DJ Moore. I mean, you could kind of argue about that, but it's not the worst situation. And it's funny, you mentioned, Sam Darnold, Baker Mayfield, the guys that have been mentioned with like, hey, if Justin Fields were to turn it around, it's Darnold, Geno Smith, like two of the 3 guys were Jets. It's just funny to think about, but it is a different offensive line. I mean, I love the fact that over the last 2-3 years has just been, let's draft tackles high. Let's really prioritize this because, we know this team is, when's the last time this team's had a really good offensive line? Was it back when Mark Sanchez was on the team? Like it probably was back then. So I think Fields' expectations, maybe he's not going to, 200 passing yards a game. Is that too much to ask for Justin Fields this season?
I mean, can he take care of the ball? Mm-hmm. Can he make plays with his legs? Can he continue to have that rise in completion percentage that we've seen over the last couple of years? Like, he's 8-4 in his last 12 starts. I'm not telling you he's been great in these games, but you can win games if he manages the offense, because I do believe in the talent here. You mentioned the O-line. I mean, depending on what version of Breece Hall we get, he could be dynamic in this offense. I just think so much of it comes down to the coaching. And they've talked up Fields like, we think he could break out. We're going to really let him play quarterback. And when they say these comments, they're insinuating that they don't think he's ever been properly coached. And it's kind of weird to fathom the Jets being that could coach up a developmental quarterback here. But it will show me a lot if they're able to actually do that.
Yeah, I have this confidence that we're going to be able to get him to a level of, he's a good NFL starter. Like I think we've seen it in the past. I mean, I think it was 2022 where he had his best season, but I think it's just going to be, we're going to be so run oriented. And you mentioned Breece Hall. It was really disappointing how Breece looked last year. I'm just going to like, I thought he was going into the season. I'm like, he's no doubt a top 3 running back, because we saw in 23 with arguably the worst offensive line in football, the worst coach team in football, the least talented offense in football, he put up 1,600 yards. So going into last year, I'm like, how is he not going to be better than he was last year? And then he takes this step back. Maybe it's just recovering from the injury still. I don't know, but I hope Breece Hall can return to that form where we see him just breaking off these 60-yard touchdowns. I think that's going to need to happen if we want this offense to be really good, because we're not going to be centered around the pass. It's Garrett Wilson and we have all these different, we brought in Josh Reynolds, Tyler Johnson, Mason Taylor. None of those are going to be day one, really good players. I mean, we'll see about Mason Taylor, but we kind of know what Josh Reynolds, Lazard, and Tyler Johnson, we know what they are. So I don't think we're going to be carried by this passing game, but if we can get Breece Hall going, Braylon Allen too, Isaiah Davis, maybe they'll become more involved. I think this could be a really good team. And with, as we mentioned, the really, really, like, if you look at it on paper, this Jets O-line, I'd say it's top 12 in all of football. I'm trying to take my Jets fan hat off, but it looks like a pretty damn good offensive line right now.
Well, to me, the big thing is how quickly can they start playing like that? And you almost hope it's right away, because 4 of the 5 guys that play together, you added the 7th pick in the draft to the offensive line at right tackle. Right. It's his natural position, so it's not like Membo has to learn, a new position and could have some growing pains. Like, I'm not saying he's got to be, the best right tackle in the league right away, but I'm expecting him to be just as good, if not better, than what an injured Morgan Moses was last year. Like, this offensive line should be pretty good. And if they are pretty good and Fields takes that step and Breece has a bounce back year, you could be a functional offense if you're properly coached, but the O-line better be what it's being hyped up to be right now.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, look, we've spent so much time rebuilding this O-line and just trying to find the right quarterback. I mean, Fields, although, like I said before, like, I don't think he's going to be the quarterback in 2028 for the Jets, or, like down the road. I'm not really sure. It all really hinges on this season. Somebody in the comments said, "What do you want to see?" Winning in all caps. I'd love it too, but I mean,
that'd be nice.
I don't.
I forgot what that's like.
Yeah, it's been a long time. It's becoming some of my earliest memories in life, where the Jets being a winning football team. But yeah, no, it's offensive line's gonna, if we can just stay healthy and the pass catchers can stay healthy. I love the Mason Taylor pick. I think he's gonna be a great tight end. But yeah, I think really a lot of this for me depends on Breece Hall and what does Tanner Engstring bring as a first-time offensive coordinator for the Jets.
100%. We're talking with Mike here, first-time guest. You can read his work over on the Jet Press. We'll get to your calls coming up, some other things I want to get Mike's thoughts on as well. Just a quick plug, jersey giveaway, Anthony Beck signed jersey at the end of the show, so gift the channel membership to enter. And if you don't win, don't worry, because then you're automatically entered to win a signed Aaron Glenn jersey, signed Justin Fields jersey, and a signed Sauce Gardner jersey. Those are the top 3 prizes in our weekly Asmaniac raffle. Before we get back to the conversation here with Mike, I want to pause to talk about today's sponsor. That is Huel. Guys, some of you are on the go. We are all very busy. And if you're tired of skipping meals, Huel has you covered. They're today's sponsor. That's Huel. Their Black Edition ready to drink is a total game changer. All the different flavors. I mean, all you need to know about Huel is if you're on the go and you need a meal, drink a Huel and you'll be ready to go. They got awesome minerals in it. It's healthy for you. I mean, I've been drinking it for about a month now. It's really good. I've tried a bunch of the different flavors. The coffee flavor is really good. The chocolate flavor, the vanilla flavor that I just showed off here. If you saw the first show, you heard me talk about how I don't really have breakfast a lot, so I like to just have something quick, and this has been the go-to for me. So if you're interested in trying it, Huel's awesome. I highly recommend it. New customers with promo code Asman, you'll get 15% off. So it's expensive to try and eat healthy. There's a great price on this. There's vitamins in it, 35 grams of protein. So check it out. I can't recommend it enough. You'll see the link in the description. It's the pinned comment, or you can just go to Huel.com and use my promo code Asman, and you'll get 15% off. Shout out to Huel for coming on board as today's sponsor. Let's bring Mike back on the show right now, and let's get into a couple training camp related stories, Mike. One, Malachi Corley Do you believe he will
Who?
be on the opening? Exactly. Do you believe he will be on the opening day roster? Because if you look at that room right now, I don't think it's a guarantee that Malachi Corley makes this football team.
I'd pretty confidently say yes, he will be on the opening day roster because I don't think Glenn and Muji are going to take what Saleh and Douglas did as their own failures. Like, yeah, maybe Corley was brutal last season and the drop ball right before he was about to score the touchdown on Halloween against Houston, that was pretty impossible to watch. But I don't think they're gonna say, well, they couldn't get him going, so let's not even give it a try. I think he'll be given a chance. Will he be a Jet in 2026? Maybe not. It's really looking like another brutal day 2, day 3 wide receiver pick for this Jets team. But I definitely do think he will be on the roster. Yeah, there's a good amount of competition, but it's a 3rd round pick last year. I know it wasn't their pick, but let's at least try. I'm in favor of at least trying to make something out of Corley before it's too late.
I get it. I don't really know. Like, what role does he have? He doesn't play special teams. He, was hurt throughout OTAs and minicamp, so who knows what the severity of the injury is or just how far behind he is. I don't know. I mean, if he's on the team, he's going to have to play well in the preseason. I don't really see the path for him to make this team if they're keeping Lazard, because if you look at it, you have Garrett, you have Lazard, you have Reynolds, you have Arian Smith. They used the 4th round pick on him, so they're not going to cut him. They signed Tyler Johnson. I know his contract, it's not like it's like ironclad. He's definitely on this team. It's not a ton of money, but I just think the odds are against Corley right now, because how many receivers are they going to keep on a team that's going to be run first? They don't need 6 or 7 wide receivers necessarily, and it's not like Corley plays special teams, so Gibson probably has the leg up on him there.
Yeah, I was going to ask you about Gibson there, because I know he kind of took a little bit of a drop off in his 2024 season in terms of his production all around the field, but yeah, it's a tough situation. And I always think about remember the draft day text, the day 2 draft day text of like Malachi Corley, no matter what.
Yeah.
He was their 4th receiver on the board. My God. But yeah, no, I mean, you bring up some good points. I mean, it is a lot of competition. You don't realize how deep this Jets wide receiver room is. Well, not deep in terms of like loaded talent, but just a lot of names that you're like, well, they're probably, Arian Smith's obviously going to make the roster. He was just picked in the 4th round. Johnson, I think it's a $5 million contract. He'll be on the roster. So it could be tough for Corley to break it, but I do think that Glenn and Muji will maybe have that extra motivation to where we're not going to let this past regime's failures define what we are as an organization. So let's give Corley a chance for at least a little bit.
The other thing to look at with this team in training camp, which defensive tackle emerges next to Quinnen Williams? Because you look at the defense, some questions about, the starting safeties. I think we have a pretty good idea what it's going to look like. AZ Thomas maybe pushes Brandon Stevens at some point, but for now, it's going to be Sauce and Stevens on the outside with Michael Carter as the nickel. DT, though, next to Quinnen, that spot feels wide open right now. Your thoughts on that?
Yeah, it does. And my best guess would be Leonard Taylor, but I don't know. I mean, Derek Inati, how do you pronounce that guy's last name? Derek.
Inati.
Inati. Yeah. I think he'll maybe be
Byron
the day one.
Coward is another guy that has apparently made some plays.
Maybe Inati, he'll be the day 1 starter, but I think Taylor has shown enough flashes in the past year or two to where he'll maybe establish that role. But I didn't like what we did I think that was more of a need than we really treated it as. And we saw it. I mean, look, at 2023, 2022, part of why the defense was 23 and 22, part of why the defense was so great was the fact that we were able to get so much pressure that we were able to drop back and man. We had Sauce and DJ Reed. Like that was the main reason that this defense was really, really good. But I mean, last year we didn't really have a lot on that defensive line. We lost all these different guys. We trade Franklin Myers for a bag of chips and we expect to have the same production. And then we don't sign anybody really we don't sign anybody significant or do anything significant at defensive tackle. So my best guess would be Leonard Taylor, but I don't have a lot of confidence in anyone at DT outside of obviously Quinnen Williams.
We're talking, of course, with first-time guest, although once again, it feels weird calling you a first-time guest when I've been on your show so many times here. So I'm glad we're making this happen. Mike Giarraputo with us here. You can read his work over at the Jet Press, veteran radio host. He was on ESPN Albany for a bunch of years, and I'd always join him and his former co-host on the radio. Shout out to Dan, who got a job with WEEI up in Boston. So wish him well, other than the fact he's a Boston sports fan. That's besides the point. That's the only I don't know how you did a show every day with a Pats fan,
he was an odd combo. He was a Giants fan, a Bruins fan, a Red Sox fan, and basketball. I think he was Knicks. Like he went all over the place. For being a diehard sports guy, there was a little up in the air there with some of the fandoms. But they were all explained. Like I asked him, because I'm like very like, if you're born in New York, you should be a Jet. Whatever your parents are. Whatever you're born into, that's what you are. My dad has given me plenty of chances. He's like, get the hell out of here. Don't be a Jets fan. Pick someone. I'm like, it's not going to be the same if that team wins. But I made him explain his fandoms a good amount of times, and he was able to do it to my satisfaction. So it was an odd combo, but we're all good there.
All right. A big debate on our show the last couple of days has been the Jets all-time Mount Rushmore. I want your take on this, Mike, because we have had some interesting dialogue on the show with different people trying to argue for different players. The New York Post put out their top 4. Obviously, Broadway Joe Namath was on it. They had Curtis Martin, Don Maynard, and Joe Klecko. Mine was similar. Mine was Joe Namath, Don Maynard, Curtis Martin, and Darrelle Revis. I tried to find a spot for Klecko. It's just really hard. Your thoughts, your all-time Jetsmore, your Jets Mount Rushmore.
Wow. Yeah, so obviously we'll start out with Joe Namath. I think the first name that came to mind when you said that, and I'm shocked he was left off theirs, was Darrelle Revis. Because I know he left for the Pats. He won a Super Bowl with the Pats, and that's tough. And then he came back to the Jets, was okay for a year, and then was terrible and ended up just leaving. But he was in our lifetime the best cornerback I'd ever seen. Like he was shutting down sides of the field. I mean, I'll always remember every time he was my growing up favorite Jets player, no doubt. So I think Revis definitely on that list. Curtis Martin's an easy one, is number 3. Man, I mean, and then there's where it gets tough. I think I think I'd go with Klecko. Just because he was so notable. Yeah, slightly. That's a tough one. I mean that's it's just he's our best offensive lineman, and I think he's our best offensive lineman in history. So I would
defensive lineman.
Oh, my mistake. Defensive lineman. So I would go with him. But man, that is a tough one.
It's just tough to leave Maynard off because he played in an era that's way different. But I mean, we're talking about a guy that when he retired was the all-time receiving yards leader. He had the clutch catch in the AFL Championship game, scored the game-winning touchdown in that game from Namath, won a Super Bowl. He's got every Jet record at the receiver spot, and it's not even close. It's just tough to leave him off. I think he's a lock.
That's fair. But I mean, in terms, I can't get over the fact they left Revis off.
It's just tough because where do you put Revis? You put him over Curtis Martin. You put him over Maynard, Namath. You can't. Klecko. To me, it came down to Klecko versus Revis, and the way I rationalized it is Joe Klecko's a Hall of Famer. Darrelle Revis, first ballot Hall of Famer, associated with the Jets, even though he did, of course, play with Tampa and win a ring with New England that one year. And when we're doing all-time NFL teams, Revis is probably the starting corner opposite Deion Sanders. We're talking about someone that in his prime maybe was the best to ever play the position. It's why I had to put Revis on the Mount Rushmore over Klecko.
Yeah, I think that for me that'd be an easy decision. But the Maynard Klecko one, that's tough. I think I understand both sides of it. I'd slightly go Klecko, but that is, and Namath is just obviously you're going to include him.
Comments, questions. 100%. Super chats, cut the line. Open phone lines if you want in to the conversation here. Reminder, we're doing a raffle at the end of the show. So gift the channel membership if you want to be a part of it. You could also send in a super chat of $10 or higher if you're watching on the phone and YouTube is, for whatever reason, not letting you gift. They refuse to update that setting, which to me is silly, but a signed Anthony Beck jerseys coming your way to one lucky listener at the end of the show. Let's get to a couple of your calls right now. First up today is Tommy on our Gusbuster hotline. What's up, Tommy?
Jake, Mike, what's up, brothers? How you guys doing?
Tommy.
Doing well.
I was going to start out with saying something, and I realized that as soon as I went to my grocery store this morning, a guy had a Patriots hat on. I looked at him. I said, "You're a Patriot fan? You're a Patriot fan. You have a Patriot hat on. He had no idea. No, I guess he didn't speak English. I said, Jets, 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 in the middle of the whole the little supermarket that I live in Jersey City, and like people were looking at me like I'm crazy. I'm like, this guy got a fucking Patriots hat on. I said, take that shit off, bro. Come on.
I mean,
but anyway,
was he aware of why you were giving him the Jet chant? Did he comprehend what was happening?
I don't think he had any comprehension of what was going on. I don't even think he knew the hat that he was wearing. But I saw that Patriots hat, and the first thing I said was, take that shit off. Then I realized he's just wearing the hat just to wear the hat. So that's like Brady 12 or whatever, the Patriots 12 guy, like just a fake fan. But Mike, let me tell you something, Jake. First of all, you are the man, the G. You are the legend. I love you to death, brother. Michael, Breece Hall was hurt last year.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, he played hurt, and that's why the rushing game sucked, as well as Aaron Rodgers calling plays at the line when it was supposed to be designed for a run. He called off plays, and then as soon as Devontae Adams got there, Garrett Wilson got completely taken away, and he just threw it to his boy Devontae. So Garrett was built to have another 500 more, like 300 more yards. He was built for he's built for this shit. And when you talk about Malachi Corley, I understand you drafted a 4th round draft pick and a gunner in Arian Smith, but you cannot give up on Malachi Corley, who is the Yak King. He was the Yak King for a reason in college. Now, you got to give the guy at least a potential shot in the NFL and have certain packages for him. You can't just let him drop the ball like he did 1 yard and then never play him again.
Yeah, I'm right there with you on Corley. When we went over that, I think Jake was just more, where's the room for a guy like Malachi Corley? But with Breece Hall,
why would you keep Lazard and not keep Corley?
Because they clearly think that Lazard is a better football player than Corley. If they end up keeping Corley on the team, he's going to have to earn his spot. I don't know who he beats out, how many receivers they end up keeping. Maybe they keep 7 in this scenario, or someone gets hurt and it makes a decision for them.
There's no way they're keeping 7 receivers.
Okay, so if they keep 6, who's Corley on the team over?
Gibson.
Maybe, but Gibson plays special teams and Corley didn't, at least last year. So maybe they give Corley a chance to do it. I don't know.
I mean, I would rather give Corley a shot and give him a try than have Gibson dropping balls on the kickoff return 4 or 5 times, dropping kickoff returns. He plays special teams, but he drops the ball.
Right, but they don't even trust Corley to this point.
But you're going to tell me that Gibson, you would rather have Gibson on your team than give Corley a shot for 1 more year?
I rather Corley make the team, but my point to you, Tommy, is they're not just going to hand him a roster spot because of where he was drafted. They didn't draft him. They don't care.
Right, and I think Aaron Glenn is pushing a fire up his butt to start, let's go. Let's get this shit started. Come on, dude. Let's go. I think Aaron Glenn will push Corley to get him to where Alan Lazard drops balls like he has butterfingers.
They like Lazard's blocking ability. He apparently has been very good in these OTAs for what it's worth. The coaching staff has praised him. When they've been asked about Corley, it was, well, you can't make the tub. You can't make the team in the tub. It's basically he's behind right now. He hasn't practiced. That's what Engstrand essentially said. His roster spot is not guaranteed is my point. I think in a perfect world, he earns a spot because he is talented. There is a reason why he was drafted where he was. But they didn't draft him, so they're not going to care about keeping him just because they used a 3rd-round pick on him, because they weren't the regime that used the 3rd-round pick on him.
So you're saying Arian Smith, a 4th-round wide receiver. Corley was, a 3rd-round pick, right?
Yes.
Yep.
You're telling me just because they drafted Arian Smith in the 4th round, they're going to stick with him before Corley because he was drafted in the 3rd round with a different regime?
If it's close, if it's dead even, the tiebreaker is going to go to the guy that they just drafted. If they both have the same output in training camp, whatever that looks like, the tiebreaker is going to go to the player that this regime invested in. And if that, I don't know if that scenario happens. I don't think it's one or the other, but if it does come down to one or the other, Smith's going to win that faceoff.
And guys, in my opinion, I'd keep Corley and Arian Smith and get rid of Gibson. That's just my opinion. And God bless you guys. God bless America. Thank you guys so much for your intake. I love watching you guys. Jake, you the man, brother.
You get the fuck out.
Tommy, appreciate it. Look, I think what it comes down to with Corley is you want to be on the team, go earn the spot. He's going to play in the preseason. Like, go make plays. He makes plays, they'll find a spot for him.
Like Corley, I mean, I'd like to see him on the team because we've only seen, I mean, what do you have? 2 catches last year, 3 catches last year? Like, I'd love to see more of him. But if he's not producing in practice, if he's not really good enough to be on this team, at the end of the day, I trust Glenn and Muji to make the right decision on whether or not Corley deserves to be on this team by September or not. And that's where I stand. I'd love to see it happen, but I'm really not sure if he's going to be able to do it.
Boomtown writes in, what if Corley isn't smart and simply can't grasp the playbook? What if he has issues being a professional and dedicating himself to the NFL game? We don't know. I think what hurts Corley, too, the only position coach that Glenn retained from last year's staff was the receivers coach, Sean Jefferson. So he knows everything that went on with Corley. There were reports of him being immature and not grasping the offense. I mean, we'll see. Does he grasp the Engstrand offense? Is he a better fit in this system? Time will tell. That's a storyline to watch this summer. More of your calls right now. Jets Jesus is next today. Hello, Jets Jesus.
What's up, fellas? You guys staying cool out there?
I'm dying, man. I got the fan on me right now. It's just not cool enough in my apartment despite max AC and everything else.
We're getting a breakout here. Storms came through and broke the heat. It was in the hundreds the past 2 days, and we're mellowed out a little bit now today and yesterday.
Yeah, we're at 104 outside here, I think. That's what it feels like.
Oof.
Not too good.
Well, welcome to the show, Mike. You've been doing awesome so far.
Thank you, man.
Always appreciate the good guests, which I'm going to come back to in a moment. Jake, I missed you the past couple of days, but I've been listening. I haven't been able to make a call or get timed up right for a call. The Mount Rushmore conversation is a good one. I like that it's continued, and I agree that it's down to the 5, and I keep getting swayed. Kyle Clifton swayed me to put Klecko on. Sabo got me wavering this morning. It's tough, and I think really like with almost none of us being around for Maynard, it's hard to like probably show him the respect that he deserves. But I don't know. I'm like, you can't leave Rivas off, and you can't leave Curtis Martin off, and it's a toughie.
It's an impossible task because you can make an argument for way more than 4, and that's why it's such a good topic because it's hard.
Exactly, which is why it's so fun. So what I want to float out there is I think we should also when this conversation tires out, I think we should do a I haven't figured out how to word. I thought of it during yesterday's show when I was listening, and I forget. Was it Rob? I think had some really goofy answers, and I know he didn't know how many people or how many presidents were on Mount Rushmore, which is a whole amusing thing. And but he said somebody. Oh, it was like when Mangold started getting brought up and stuff like that. I think it would be cool to do one that are like. What did it? Rex called them like the lunch pail guys, like the really serious, like blue collar guy, like the hardworking guy, like who are the like top, the Rushmore of like hardworking Jets, like you definitely would go like Corbett, and then kind of like Phil, then you're sort of starting to think of who some of the other ones are. I think that would be a fun topic, and the one that I did sit and figure out, and Mike, hopefully you'll be on this one day, but for right now, it's your first show, dude, but. The Mount Rushmore of Jake Asman show guests.
Ooh. I like that one.
I think we go Dylan, Fialco, Sabo, and Wilpo. I think Will Parkinson got to be on there.
Will's the longest of any of those guests you named. I mean, Will I think has to be on there. Longevity. Fialco's great. I mean, it's a shame he had to retire because he became a real coach.
Which is awesome.
Yeah, no, 100%. Fialco, Will, Sabo, and then Dylan. I mean, I love all the guests, but it's tough to argue with those 4, Jets. Jesus, that's a very good list.
And then I know the Corley thing just got brought up by Tommy. I mean, you got we got two guys that are constantly, that are on the show, at least two, right? Faria and Sabo are kind of always at as many as many of the open camps and practices as possible. It's it's kind of, in my opinion, their reports that are going to be the most important for us figuring out who should be sticking around. But I don't think we can fall in love with any of these guys, because especially who have been like sitting at the end of the bench, because we don't really know what they're looking like because we never see them. So it's like, you want to be disappointed that like some guy got cut that you never even see, you've seen on the field for 2 plays.
Yeah.
Like, who cares? And of course, a guy who just got drafted that this regime specifically has a plan for is going to make the team over him. He's newer, and they can craft, they can fully craft him, and they have an idea of what they want him to do.
I think that's what we love so much as Jets fans. Like, we'll have the guys that are on the roster bubble. We'll read things all about them in training camp, and then they get cut, and we act like it's the end of the world. I mean, what we really are interested in is the fact that they're unknown. Like, we don't know how good they are. I mean, we've seen a year of Corley, but we don't know how good they are, how good they can be in the NFL, and the hope that comes along with it. And also being a Jets fan, like, we're probably the most hopeful out of any fan base. So
we've had such bad coaching in a lot of these areas that it's like, did we know this guy is bad because they're just bad, or were they poorly coached? Right. I mean, like, the one thing with Saleh that we could point to is there was development on the defensive side. Like, there's multiple players that we saw UDFAs or day 3 picks that became really good football players under the previous defensive coaching staff, whether it's Quincy or JFM or Bryce Huff. Like, the list goes on and on. You can't say that about offense. Like, can we get a real offensive coaching staff, and maybe Angstran and company are, and all of a sudden Malachi Corley, who looks like he doesn't belong on the team this summer, he looks like he does belong. So that's what we don't know.
Yeah, that's why I want to give him some sort of chance. I mean, if the talks about his immaturity are true, and we're not going to hear anything about it this offseason because Aaron Glenn's not, as we started the show, he's not picking up Schefter's calls, all these other guys from ESPN's calls. Maybe we won't know about it, but like I said, I trust Glenn to make that decision. Is Corley a mature guy? Is he working every day? Is he really learning the playbook? Does he look good out in the practice field? I trust him to make those decisions, him and Darren Muji, the GM, to make those decisions. So I hope we don't let him go. I'd like to give him a chance because, as you said, we haven't been coached well on offense. Obviously, last year we were horribly coached on offense, changes during the year. So if we could find a way to get Corley on the roster and see what he could do, that kind of guy, I mean, just maybe he's not the most talented guy, but I feel like that kind of player would have definitely contributed in Detroit's offense last year. So I'm not ready to give up completely yet, but I will understand just based off how many names we have if we were to let him go.
The big fella, Frankie V, is the Vernon Golston of guests. Damn, big fella going up and in on Frankie V. I mean, a Mount Rushmore of guests is so hard. I mean, where do you put Cole Thompson? Where do you put Matt O'Leary? Where do you put Jeff Parles? I mean, Fireman Ed, Beningo, these guys were weeklies during the season. It's hard to just do 4, which is why I will not be partaking in that. But if people want to call in and give their own, that's fine. Mike, I don't know how much of my show in recent months you've been able to watch, but this was the Mount Unemployment of AsManiacs. Bobby Midnight, Charles Gorman, Cheats Fan, and Beastbreaker. I don't know if you have any thoughts on this, but if you do, feel free to opine.
Mount Unemployment. I can't say I can give any thoughts on that, but I will say in terms of your Mount Rushmore guests, I can give. I know Will Parkinson's a great guest. We used to have him on our show Upstate all the time, so can give some thoughts on Will Park. But on the Mount Unemployment, I can't get too far into detail there.
Adam is too cool with a super chat. He says Corley wasn't used correctly. Dude doesn't have to be a route running slot. Just scheme him open and let him do the work. I think what hurts Corley, though, a lot of what we've heard about what they could do with Arian Smith sounds a lot like some of the things they would do with Corley. And you're not just going to, in an offense that wants to run the ball, you're just not going to have that many of these like design plays for Corley and Smith in your game plan every week. It's just not realistic.
It's not. And I mean, the more we talk about it, the more I'm thinking he's probably not going to make this roster. But I just don't want to see us give up on that kind of, not that he was this incredible can't miss prospect. He was an early 3rd round pick. Like we're not talking about a late 1st rounder. We're not talking about an early 2nd rounder. But it's tough to give up on guys you drafted that highly just a year ago. This was only a year ago. You used your 3rd pick on this guy. So, I mean, it's tough to just move on. But Aaron Smith, I mean, he's the burner. He's that kind of guy. He does, I mean, his hands are a big problem. His hands are a big problem. If that can somehow be improved, which I think it has to be, if he's going to be successful, we might be talking about Aaron Smith in this way in a year if he's dropping passes like he did in college. But Corley, I think there's a lane for him to get on this roster, but as we've been talking about, it's going to be tough to edge out a guy like Xavier Gibson.
Rick from San Francisco is up next. Hello, Rick.
Hey, Jake, it's been a while. I'm starting to get my Jet mojo going, and great listening to you guys today. You know, there's so many unknowns with this team, from the new coaching staff to all of the question marks. I have to believe, as you guys have already mentioned, that Aaron Glenn's gonna build it like Parcells from the inside out. I really expect the defense has the edge right now, because with Jermaine Johnson coming back, hopefully healthy, I don't know if I've been away a little bit, so I don't know if there's anything holding him from being ready to go. But with him and McDonald and Quinnen, you know, the defense is going to be rock solid. Last year was a total disaster in every way, shape, and form.
Did you go to the opening game, Rick? Were you in San Fran?
I was in San Fran for the opening game, and I flew to Arizona for that.
Ooh.
Oh,
Piece
so the
of
two worst
garbage
games.
that was over before it even started.
That's brutal. That's brutal.
Man, what a way to start. Yeah, I haven't been lucky. I went to the Vegas game 2 years ago. I'm leaning the Saints game this year to fly to New Orleans for the Saints.
It's probably the
Winnable.
safest one on the schedule that you could go to, so it wouldn't be a bad
Yeah,
move
and
there.
also it's a great city. I don't know if you've been there, but New Orleans is you're gonna have a fun time. As
Definitely.
Vegas was a fun time. In fact, even Arizona surprisingly was a fun time. But man, as a diehard who does go back, who was at the AFC Championship game on December 29th, 1968.
It wasn't even the AFC Championship. It was the AFL title
yeah,
game, Rick.
That's
How
right.
about
You said that last time, and you're absolutely right.
Yeah.
So, I mean, we need to update the resume a little bit, don't you think?
Yes. We need to
I'm
win, Rick.
71 now.
You deserve it. It's people like you that still support this miserable franchise. I mean, God, it's brutal. It's been brutal,
Yeah.
Rick. I hope it comes soon, man, because someone like you is long overdue.
Oh, and you know, and I love your compassion, and you're so into it. So when we have our day, it's going to be quite the day. But I really like the changes they're making. Again, one of the unknowns is the coaching staff, because, you know, there's a lot of all new people for the most part.
Mm-hmm.
The bar was set so low with Keith Carter last year, as an example, that it could only get better. It could only get better, and
that's what I've been saying.
Some young guys. Go ahead, Mike.
Well, that's what I've been thinking for years, and then they just find new ways to disappoint you.
I know. We've all been there.
Yeah.
You know, I remember Gastineau with that silly roughing the passer when we had Cleveland beat it in Cleveland years ago in the 80s, which, you know, even they know how to snatch defeat out of the jaws of victory.
Mm-hmm.
And we need to change that culture. Aaron Glenn is going to be a no-nonsense. You got to be tough. He's not trying to win any popularity contests. I'm sure Parcells fired up some people, and he found out who the strong ones were going to survive. And that's a process, and that's going to take a little time to figure out. So when you talk about Corley, for example, if Corley is not mentally tough and willing to go through a wall, he's not going to make it. And neither would anybody else that's not the kind of guys Glenn's going to want. Just like those are the kind of guys that Parcells would never want. He wants tough guys and smart guys. And we'll wait and see. Have you planned a game yet? Other than they got London again this year, or no?
The Jets are going to London. We're doing Tampa for our road trip game this year, Rick. So if you're interested in that,
I could switch from New Orleans to Tampa.
That's week 3. So worst case, the Jets are only 0-2. We got a whole thing planned. Do me a favor, Rick. Couple things.
Yeah.
Email me your
Yeah.
T-shirt size and your address. I want to send you some merch for being such a long time suffering Jet fan. And I could also send you the link for all the info for the happy hour we got planned, the tailgate, the hotel link, ticket link, everything you need to know for Tampa if you want to make that trip with us. All right.
Nice. I just got to make sure we're free and don't have a plan. Retirement is good, but if we're free, Tampa sounds great. Tampa sounds great. So
Love it.
I will send you. Now the email again on you, Jake, is.
It's in the description, but it's just AsmanJake. It's just my last name, first name at gmail.com.
Perfect. I'll let you talk to some other callers. Let's hope that we see the team. I'm not counting it so much on wins this year. It's the culture.
Mm-hmm.
It's going to take a little time to turn this battleship around. But the effort was not there last year. And Prima Donna, you might remember, Jake, I was never a big Aaron Rodgers fan, mostly because of his lack of leadership. You don't throw other people under the bus. He continues to have conversations and make excuses and point fingers at other people. And certain things are not supposed to be said publicly. I'm happy that the inmates are no longer running the asylum in Jersey. And
we got to win games, Rick. I'm amazed at your patience. They got to win some games.
They got to win games, no doubt about it. I cried when, what's the guy's name? O'Brien, the kicker in Pittsburgh. I was in Vegas. Doug Bryan?
Yeah.
When he clanked it off the post and missed the other one, this is the only time I literally, right in the middle of a casino, started crying when the Jets lost. And the first thing when they spoke to Bill Cowher after the game, says, so Bill, how'd you do it or something like that? He says, I have no idea. We were totally outplayed today. But the Jets figured out a way to lose it. Anyway,
Rick,
we got to turn the mojo around. We really do.
Hey, I hope it gets better, Rick. Great call. You got to call back more, all right? People love your call.
I will, man. I'll catch up with you guys later. Great show, guys. Thank you, Michael. Thanks, Jay.
We're the freaking New York Jets, so we're built for this shit.
Man. StreamYard's glitching. I don't know. Okay, there we go.
You're good.
Rick, great call, man. Shoot me an email. We'll get you some merch, and I can send you all the info on Tampa. Love that. 71. He's like, it's going to take some time. I want to see culture. I want to see wins.
Man.
Let's go win 9 or 10 games like every other team in the league can accidentally do over the last 15 years.
Yeah. And people think we're nuts for being like, hey, it's going to take some time. Like, people think we're at the age where it's like, all right, come on. Like, shouldn't you be expecting? I have nothing but respect for that generation of Jets fans because, man, it's been a tough ride.
Yeah. I mean, it's just the losing it never stops. You think at some point it will, but it just doesn't.
He did bring up a great point, and we had kind of alluded to it throughout this show, but I'm not going into the season in terms of what I want for the Jets this season. I'm not saying, well, win 8 games, win 9 games, win however many games. I want to see a team that likes each other. We're not seeing stories throughout the season and culture. I mean, it sounds, cliche, but it is the main thing. So let's get that set in order. I don't want any questions this offseason about, is Aaron Glenn the right guy for the job? Did we do the right thing? Hiring Muji? Is Justin Fields right? Like, I just want it to be a stable season, anywhere from 7 to 8 wins, as long as it looks good and we don't feel horrible every week if this team were to lose.
Yeah, to me, I think it could be a combination of like that culture that we're talking about, but also like, can you win games? How are you against division opponents?
Mm-hmm.
How are you against, the teams when you have the rest advantage? How are you late in the year? Are you getting better as the year goes on? Are we seeing younger players get better? Like, to me, sure, you want to win 9 games or more so you have a winning season, but if they win 7, but there's real improvement, there's still a way for it to look okay where we feel good going into next year, if that makes sense. But
Yeah.
you can't win 4 or 5 games. Like, this team's got to go out there and actually like win football games.
You mentioned the division there. What are your expectations? I mean, Buffalo, I think, is right now my Super Bowl pick. We'll see what happens, but I think we're going to drop 2 to Buffalo. But in terms of New England and Miami, how do you think we stack up against them in terms of our talent and just our team overall?
I think the Jets can definitely finish in front of both Miami and New England. It's just a lot of unknowns. Like, I don't know about Glenn. I don't know about Fields. I don't think the Dolphins are great. I don't love
me neither.
Their offseason. I think McDaniel's a very overrated coach. I think Tua is a very overrated quarterback. He never beats good teams. Zach Wilson is their backup. He's going to play, you figure, at some point there. And New England, I mean, if Drake May's the real deal, I mean, you feel good about them because they have a real coach that we know in Vrabel, but their roster's not great. The Jets have more talent than New England. It's just we don't know about Fields and we don't know about May, but they feel good about May there. We'll see.
I am worried about. I do think the Patriots are going to take a big step up this year. I think 9 or 10 wins, and they might sneak into the playoffs this year.
That'd be a nightmare.
I mean, well, what has being a Jets fan been? Yeah, right. I mean, so like I'm almost expecting that, but and they have Vrabel. Like, they made a lot of improvements, a lot of offensive additions. Did really what they needed to do. Yeah, they maybe overpaid for some older free agents, but that's kind of what they had to do in terms of surrounding Drake May. So I think Patriots are going to be a really good team. I think McDaniel is gone after the season. I think the Dolphins win 7-8 games, but I think best case is we win 2-3 games in division. I don't see us beating Buffalo. I know we usually play them well at home, but I think they're just going to get better and better and better just as time goes on with Josh Allen here. So I mean, Miami, I think we have a chance of finishing in front of. Patriots, I'm really expecting that step up from them.
Bo knows football. Bo knows baseball. Bo knows tennis. Bo knows basketball, too. Bo knows super chats.
Yeah, baby. Shout out to Bo C. He writes in with a 50 spot. I hope Rick calls in every single day. Let's go, Bo. And I agree. Rick in San Francisco. Love that call. And Bo, thank you. You're in our raffle for 10. I'll tell you what, Mike, great first show with you as the guest here. Appreciate you hopping on. Where can people find you for those who aren't familiar with your work?
Sure. Yeah, you can find me on Twitter right there, Mike Giarraputo, and you could go to the Jet Press. I'll be doing a lot more writing as the offseason builds up here. But Jake, thanks for having me on. Anytime you want to have me on, always a pleasure talking to you. Back in ESPN New York up there, having you on our show. But and to those watching, thank you. I saw some of the nice comments I've been reading into the calls we got in. So thank you guys for tuning in today. And Jake, thanks for having me on, man. Anytime. This was a blast.
Love it. Great job by Mike. Make sure you guys check out his work. Does a really, really good job. Radio guy, now covering the team for the Jet Press. So I'm glad that Mike can make his debut with us here on this fine Tuesday. A couple super chats I want to address, and then we'll get right back into your calls. And another reminder, signed jersey giveaway at the end of the show. You can gift the membership for $5, and that's all it takes to get into the raffle. Get a raffle ticket by just gifting your fellow listener a channel membership, or you could just become a member yourself if you want, and that counts towards the raffle as well. The big fella with a super chat, he says the Mount Rushmore of guests: Dylan Terraman, Jeff Parles, Andrew Fialco, and Cole Thompson. Strong list. We talk about OGs. Cole is right up there with Will as far as appearances on the show since this show became a daily show. Big fella with a follow-up super chat. My bust guest Mount Rushmore: Frankie V, Nick Faria, Joe Beningo, and Frankie V again. A big fella despises Frankie V so much, he put him on his Mount Rushmore twice. Tremendous. Felix with a super chat. What's up, Jake? Quick question. When are we getting tickets for Sunday's Yankees game? I haven't received any email updates or tickets. Felix, check your email again. I sent you your tickets. Check your email and you'll see that I did transfer you your tickets, Felix. If you didn't get it, please shoot me an email later and I will cancel the transfer and then resend it to you. But you should have your tickets. Chef Kevin, if you're out there, I saw you haven't accepted your ticket yet for you and your family. But if you're coming to our Yankee outing on Sunday, which, by the way, as of now, we do still have 2 tickets left. If you want to join us be on the lookout and reach out to me ASAP, and we could get you there. We're going to meet at Billy's before the game at 11:30. First pitch is at 1:30. We'll have our own private area at Billy's, so I'm looking forward to that. Check your junk email. Check your spam email. It says NY Cursor and Rick Kent. So, Felix, be on the lookout for that. Looking forward to meeting you in person, my friend. And we'll get you down in this jersey raffle for 2 with that $10 super chat. All right. Get to more of your calls right now. I appreciate all of you tuned in here. It is hot as hell in my apartment. I got the fan blasting, and it is not working. God, this heat wave sucks. More calls right now, shall we?
Purple Belt Mike, he loves the dark night. He's got a green pool and he jumps right in. Maybe someday he'll get a brown belt, but for now he's just that Purple Belt Mike. Purple Belt Mike, it might be purple, but he can still kick your dirty ass.
Yo.
Hello.
What up?
What up?
My rap mushroom of people that your hosts, it's got to be Sabo's got to be on there. I love Sabo.
So Sabo is on the Mount Rushmore of Asmaniac guests.
Number 1 for me.
Number 1.
Number 1. I love Sabo. Dylan T. Got to put him on there. All the hate for Faria. I love Faria. I put Faria on there also.
Yeah, I'm not understanding the Nick hate. He's usually very positive about the Jets, so that surprises me.
Yeah, I like Faria a lot. So he's on mine. So.
What are you cooking?
Yeah. On one leg, I'm cooking some peppers and onions.
Nice.
Yeah, and then by the time my wife gets home, she'll cook my my meat for me, and then we're gonna have tacos.
She's gonna cook your what?
My meat.
Calm your freaky down.
Whoa.
Yeah, my ground beef. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, 100%. Did you get the mail today, Mike? I was informed
Oh wait,
that
yes.
your signed.
I couldn't wait to open it. Hold on, I gotta hop my ass over there. Give me a second.
Let's go, Cripple. His signed Wayne Corbett jersey that Mike won in the daily raffle, or a weekly raffle, I think it was. PBM won that on yesterday's first show. How's that for getting prizes to listeners? All right, he won that thing yesterday, and it's already arrived today.
So
that's efficiency.
You got like the 1-day shipping around here. Look at this shit, baby.
I work hard for my listeners.
Yeah.
I want everyone to know, if you enter the raffle, that this is the real deal. Mike won this yesterday. You find me anyone that's getting you your prizes as fast as I do it. Hell yeah. Love it.
Nobody.
You gotta get that framed. That's a sick jersey.
I am. I'm actually gonna frame that. I have a Rick DiPietro jersey that he signed for me that I'm getting framed, and now I'm just gonna order another frame for that. So I'll have 4 framed jerseys. I also have Peyton Manning and a Marshall Faulk.
Sign Peyton Manning?
Peyton Manning is my favorite player of all time. I followed him throughout. And then the Marshall Faulk one, my uncle gave to me before he died.
It's very cool.
So, yeah, the Marshall Faulk one's pretty cool. It has, like, his stats on it and whatever records he has for the Rams. It's pretty cool. But, yeah.
Well, Mike, enjoy your meats, all right?
You got it.
Purple Belt Mike, he loves the dark night. He's got a green pool and he jumps right in. Maybe someday he'll get a brown belt, but for now he's just that Purple Belt Mike. Purple Belt Mike, it might be purple, but he can still kick your dirty ass.
Julian with a super chat. He's in the raffle for 5 with this. It seems last year third downs were a sack fest for us, hoping to see third downs become easy for the Jets. This show is great. Best people. Thank you, Julian. Look, they got to be efficient on third down. Now, the key to not getting sacked a lot on third down is you're not in third and long, or you're not in obvious passing situations, right? If you're balanced, if you're in third and manageable, and you still have the threat of the run, and by the way, anytime the ball is in Fields' hands, he's a threat. That's just an element that we as Jet fans have not had at the quarterback spot. Anytime Justin Fields drops back, there's a chance he could run. And let's see how they coach him up to obviously get better as a passer, but still utilize what he does at an elite level. Party with Peg and Artie. Put Chris B in the raffle. He deserves it. I will put Chris B in the raffle, Artie, but just know $10 super chats are the minimum, but for Chris B, we'll make the exception. The reason for that is because we want people to, if they can, gift memberships so the entire community benefits rather than just a super chat that doesn't get new members, because then we can get more channel emojis and badge access and everything else. But we appreciate the support no matter how you guys do it, so we will make that happen for you. All right, let's get to more of your calls, shall we, ladies and gentlemen? We're about to have back-to-back callers here that all have a unique intro that we play.
What's up, Jake?
What a shirt.
Pretty cool, right?
Was that inspired by Charles Gorman?
Sometimes I wear it for the show because thinking that Charles will enjoy it. I'm not going to lie to you, but I got something I got for my kids.
I love that.
So it's so hot here that I have a ice pack in back of my phone to make sure it doesn't shut down. Like one of those plastic ice packs you get out of the freezer, so it doesn't overheat and we can continue our conversation. I was laughing before, thinking that that grocery store clerk that Tommy was teaching how to spell probably was just wearing that Patriots cap just because he wants to stay in the country.
Good God.
But the other thing I was thinking was, it's great that, Glenn seems to have closed the leaks. This way, the stuff that gets out in the media is the stuff that he wants to get out in the media. Like, maybe we're not too pleased with Malachi Corley, right? The fact that that's a warning shot across the bow, right? If I'm Malachi Corley and I want to make this team, I'm going to the coaching staff and saying, I want to try returning punts. I want to make sure that I have some utility for this team, right? Because if you think about it, there's going to be a lot of competition for punts and kicks, whether it's Pritchard, whether it's Gibson, whether it's Isaiah Davis, any number of guys, Donovan Edwards, and Kenne is another guy. These are all guys that are going to be vying for a role on special teams. Arian Smith, maybe. Who knows, right? This is something where this guy needs to step up and distinguish himself. And if he's not doing that, he's going to probably be a street free agent in about 2 months.
I agree. I mean, look, he's got talent. We saw that in college, but this regime didn't take him. And if he doesn't have a role in special teams, it makes it a lot harder for him to just to outright win a roster spot.
Yeah, and that's why the punt team is great for him. Like, this is a guy that should destroy arm tackles, based on the tape that we saw from college. And you don't need to learn, a specialized playbook too in depth to ingrain yourself in a role there. I appreciate your time.
Kyle, always a good call. Love the shirt. I see that there is a comment here from Black Gypsy. Did Charles Gorman get a job yet? LOL, just playing. We know he didn't. We have not gotten a Gorman job update today, so I can't answer that. My gut tells me he has not officially gotten a job yet. I don't know why Burger King hasn't called him back, but there's been no updates to my knowledge. Now, I do have an update, though, on our latest Mount Rushmore featuring Asmaniacs. Here are the 4 Asmaniacs on the first ever Mount Fartmore. Number 1, Charles Eugene M. Gorman.
Excuse me.
Number 2, Charles Eugene M. Gorman.
I think the second one. Excuse me.
Number 3, this can't be right. Charles Gorman.
Oh.
And somehow on Mount Fartmore for the 4th time in a row, You guessed it, Charles Gorman.
When's the next Batman movie? Probably around 2027, 2028. Excuse me.
Unbelievable. Party with Peg and Artie in the raffle. Artie, do you want this to go towards Chris B as well? You let me know in the chat. Appreciate you supporting the channel. As always, let's get to more of your calls right now. We tried earlier on the first show today. We couldn't see him. Perhaps it will work this time around. You just never know. Here we go.
Hello, I'm Mikey. I'm Bobby's little bro. Have you seen Jake Graves? She's so beautiful. I love my boy Jake, but not in a gay way. I am so happy. I'm not going to touch anything, I promise.
Mikey.
Jake, you see me? You hear me, Jake?
Oh, I hear you, Mikey.
Jake. All right, Jake. I like that purple Mike shirt with Wayne Quebec. That guy is cool. Yeah, Wayne Quebec should be in the Mount Mall. It should be on the Mount
Wayne Quebec is a legendary Jet, no doubt.
Yeah, he didn't go to college. He went on the practice field. He showed everybody he could do it, and he did it. That's my boy right there, too. And guess what?
Baby.
Someone knows, some other doctor knows you, too, at where I work. You know Eli Goldberg?
Do I know Eli Goldberg? I do not.
Well, he said he watches your show sometimes. He likes you a lot.
Well, tell him I appreciate him tuning in to the show.
Yeah, and guess what? I go get you more people watching you, because I have a lot of friends that talk all about you, because they're real Jet fans. We rock the house, right?
I love it.
Jake, hey, Jake, I think if I could find a Wayne Quebec jersey, I would love to have one if I could find it.
Well, I'll tell you what. Robbie Sabo, I don't know if you saw him on the show earlier, Mikey. He said he's going to send you a signed Wayne Quebec photo.
Yeah, all right. That would be cool. I want to show everybody that I have proof. I love Wayne Quebec. I have proof. You think so? And
Yeah,
Bobby
baby.
I think Bobby get the job tomorrow.
Do you think he's going to interview well?
Yeah, I think he will. He will get dressed up very nice for it.
Now, Mikey, the chat is accusing you of farting during this call. Is this true?
No, I don't fart. I fart in the bathroom by myself. I like fart in the bathroom with the door closed.
They're claiming that you did it during this call here. I don't know. I didn't hear it.
I mean, yeah, I didn't fart. If I farted, you would have smelled it.
Oh,
you
yeah.
Smelled it. Yeah. I think they were Patriots fans said that. Patriot fans.
Yeah.
6 rings. Hey, you know what? I think I'll only go to Yankee game this year sometime. See, the best team in baseball.
That's right. Well, you got to tell your brother to go to a game with you.
Yeah, sometime we could go with my friend. He's a Yankee fan. Probably be what's his name? My buddy, the doctor. The same doctor you know.
Oh, yeah.
And we telling Nick Shine I love him. We tried to get Bobby's patch at the mailman, but Bobby had the number written down, but it says Nick Shine on it. I think that's why they didn't bring it to Bobby's house yet. His patch on his eye. You know?
Your brother's eye, it looks like it's a lot better, though.
Yeah, because I gave him that medicine. I picked it up for him, so he could use it.
It was real freaky looking the other day.
Yeah, because they told me to I got the medicine from. I told my mom and dad I want to get Bobby his medicine right away.
Yep.
They wanted to get that medicine in his eye right away. Because my parents say that could hurt him so much. You think so?
Well, I'm glad he's doing better, and I'm glad you figured out how to call in today, Mikey. This was great.
Yeah, and Jake, you're awesome.
You're awesome, Mikey.
You're
the man.
Work with you. I wish I worked with you.
You're my director of positivity.
Yeah, and we could be working to like brothers. You have a brother,
baby.
don't you? You have a brother. What's your brother's name?
I do. His name is Zach.
What does he do for work?
He has a job in marketing.
All right, that's pretty good. And your dad likes the Jets too, Bobby
Yes.
said?
My dad's the reason why I'm a Jets fan.
So he's coming to October 19th game?
He probably will come. We'll probably get him to go to his one game a year.
And your brother too, bring your bro.
Oh, yeah.
Eric could dance with all those pretty girls like last time.
Oh, yeah. We've seen you in action, Mikey.
Yeah, definitely. Remember? All the girls, the guys, there were 6 guys with the older girls. They didn't want to dance with. I'm the only guy that did it. Danced with 6 beautiful, gorgeous ones.
Yeah, because you're a bachelor, baby.
Yeah, I'm not married. Thank God I'm not married, and my head will be ripped off. Well, you know who I miss? Jane
Who do you
Graves.
miss?
You know Jane Graves, the pretty lady?
Oh, do I?
Calm your freaky down. Yeah, tell her I miss her. I know she works a lot too with special need kids. I like that. She's a hard teacher. Work hard.
She's great.
She does work. Yeah, she could be my teacher. She called me different things too, with what to say and stuff. Yeah, that's pretty cool, right?
I love it. Yeah,
guess what? My union's gonna help me get the 4 hours at work, and my mom helped me wrote something down so we could talk to the big leagues, and so hopefully we get that soon. October 8th, not October, July 8th, we meet with the people. That'll be pretty cool.
I love it.
I might get a job at Burger. I might get a part-time job.
You're gonna if you and Charles Gorman are both working at Burger King, that'd be incredible.
Yeah, because they said I could watch the tables, mop the floors, because I do that at the hospital. I'm a housekeeper. I do vacuuming and stuff.
Yeah.
I do a lot of good things for the hospital. If I would, they said the president at the hospital said, if Mikey's the best, if we had 100 Mikeys, the hospital would be running very good. Yeah.
I agree.
And Jake, I'm going to meet Raheem's brother, Sean. I'm going to meet him soon.
Tell Sean I say hello, all right?
Yeah, and Raheem too. Raheem lives right in Keene, New Hampshire. Keene, New Hampshire, and I live in Guilford, Vermont. You know where Guilford, Vermont is? Next to Brattleboro? Yeah, I like Guilford, Vermont better than Brattleboro. There's a lot of strange people in Brattleboro.
Mikey, you're the man. Say hi to all your coworkers for us, and we'll talk to you soon.
Yeah.
Hello, I'm Mikey. I'm Bobby's little bro. Have you seen Jake Graves? She's so beautiful. I love my boy Jake, but not in a gay way. I am so happy. I'm not going to touch anything, I promise.
Mikey, what a legend. PBM with a super chat here. He says, forgot to ask who would be on the Mount Rushmore of very good for the New York Jets. It's harder to do that. Might as well do a Mount Rushmore of bust. Zach, Vernon, Moliner. Oh, you mean Milner? D. Milner and Hackenberg. Mount Rushmore of bust is really hard because an older school Jet fan will have Roger Vick on there, Blair Thomas, Kyle Brady. I think Zach Wilson is definitely on there, though, of the 4 you mentioned. Hackenberg has a case. He never played. Like, just as far as just busts, like, he was a second-round pick that never appeared in an NFL game for anyone, let alone the Jets. But I think Zach is out there because he played so many games. I mean, Zach Wilson started over 30 games for the Jets. It just never ended. He never got better. Just never ended. I don't want to do that in June. That'd be tough. But Blair Thomas, I think, is definitely on that PBM. He was the second pick in the draft. There's just so many busts. I mean, we would need, like, Mount Rushmore's not big enough for Jets draft busts. Do we really want to relive that pain right now? I don't know if we do. Mount Rushmore are very good Jets. Then you get into the debate, well, who's great versus who's very good. Wayne Corbett, I think, is on the very good. He's not a Hall of Famer, but he's an all-time Jet. I mean, do you put Nick Mangold on the Mount Rushmore? Very good. Like, Kevin Mawae's in the Hall of Fame. Mangold to this point is not. So does Mangold qualify as very good? Because I think Mangold is like a borderline Hall of Fame player. Like, then you start to get into the semantics of it. And then, like, okay, very good Jets. Brandon Marshall broke every receiving record the Jets have in a single season, right? He's only a Jet for 2 years total, though. Where do you put him? Is he considered very good? He only played 2 years. Like, Jericho Cotchery, to me, is a very, very good Jet. Sean Ellis, very, very good Jet. That's an interesting category. Ladies and gentlemen, we just heard Mikey talk about getting a second job. He's been working at the hospital for 20 years. I know there's someone on hold right now that heard those comments, and it was music to his ears. Ladies and gentlemen, the Director of Achievement, One Punch Dave Briga, is next.
He thinks that Charles and Bobby need to get a job. This cowboy hates to see AsManiacs complain. What he call him, One Punch Briga. You need to get a job. What he call him, One Punch Briga. The beast is on his ass. Call him One Punch Briga. Has anyone seen Bean Mac? Call him One Punch Briga. You only need one.
Good afternoon, Jake. How are you today?
Dave, I'm trying to stay cool. Now, you're outside right now. I mean, what's the temperature by you?
Well, it's cooling down, but it was just 97. I was out for a nice hike. It was beautiful. I enjoyed sweating, you know. I used to take long hikes in the desert years ago. It's built up my endurance, so I love to get out in the heat. Hey, the heat doesn't last long. You have to enjoy it. But, you can see out here we got a lot of greenery, so it's a lot different than being in the city. You know, it's a little bit more pleasant than being around concrete. So, but yeah, I'm very impressed with Mikey. You know, that man has a tremendous work ethic. And also, he's got a lot of manners. He goes in his bathroom when he has to actually, release air. So, Mikey's a man of great achievement. He seeks it by doing the things right. So, it's encouragement that, hear that Mikey's worked for 20 years and, he gets compliments as being a great worker. So that's always great to hear. And of course, Bobby tomorrow's going for that job, so we're pulling for him. Hope everything works. Bobby be a good host. He just has to make sure that he takes a shower every day. Get in that shower every day. Trim that nice hair up. Bobby's got that tremendous hairdo. Trim that nice. Get some nice clothes. Nice wardrobe, nice casual. Get a nice jacket. Bobby will clean Bobby up, and he'll do a good job. He's got good social skills. He's learned a lot. So I give Bobby a lot of credit. I'm pulling for him tomorrow. Yeah, just out here too. I just had to get rid of a wasp nest. That was the trick.
Oh man!
And I got another one down there. I got the jello jacket's nest, but I'm not even gonna touch it because they're too far along, and I don't want to destroy the nest on them. So it's a little hairy out here today. So I hope the Wi-Fi is working. But I want to stay out here in the nice fresh air. So as far as Charles goes, Dave. I don't know. Why is that?
It's just
it's nice. It's beautiful.
97. I don't know. I would need a lot of water. But no, you brought up Charles though. I was going to ask you about Mount unemployment. What are your thoughts on the 4 AsManiacs that were selected?
I'm losing a little faith here in Charles. The other guys. Who else we have on here? Bobby. Well, Bobby's going to have a job tomorrow, hopefully. As far as Beast goes, we really don't know what he does. We don't know what Beast does. He's got a garden in the backyard. That's about all I know. And he's maybe he does something on the side with his wrestling. I don't know, but his something with the internet. Who knows? I don't have any idea. But who else is on that? Who else is Charles, Bobby? Who else do we have on there?
Cheats fan who has a job and then loses it immediately almost.
Well, he's busy with Denny's now, wasn't he? Last call I heard he was in a Denny's pretty much intensely. So as long as he stays in Denny's, we got to take him and Bobby up there if they get jobs. And Charles is going to take, Charles, unfortunately, he's a disappointment. He just had his ambition is lacking. I don't get it. We try to push him. Hopefully, you just can't hope that Burger King's going to call you back. In the old days, they'd say, you can't sit by the telephone. Well, now your telephone travels with you. He has no excuse at this point. No, zero excuses. But what can we do? What can we do? So I hope you survive the heat. As far as the Mount Rushmore, you can't leave. Am I going out there?
We lost you for a
My
second,
Wi-Fi
Dave.
going out? No, I better move around here. Anyway, we can't leave Don Maynard off. I mean, most of you guys never saw him play, and if you watch listen, I remember I'm from the AFL days, and it was man to man. They used to box, the cornerbacks would get right up on the line of scrimmage. They'd hack you to death. I mean, it's a whole different ball game today. And I understand Kyle Clifton's viewpoint. He's about 30 years, behind Don Maynard. I don't know exactly, but I get his point. But he didn't. Some of these guys never saw Maynard play, so I get it. But you can't eliminate Jets history. And the history is we have one Super Bowl, and who won it, and who caught big passes to get there. And and he played big in big games. Really, you just go back and look at the old videos. You'll see. So you have to have Joe Willie, you have to have Maynard, you have to have Revis, and Martin. You got to put in there. And I love Joe Klecko because he's from Pennsylvania. He was a hard Klecko worked his way to get that position. So it's unfortunate. Mount Rushmore is only 4, but that's the way it is. Somebody has to be left off. So what can we? That's it. That's my pick. I just love Don Maynard. Go back and look at young guys. Go back and look at the videos. You got to do it to understand.
Would you say
as far as Corley goes,
Dave? Would you say not putting Maynard in is like Gary saying the moon landing didn't happen?
Well, it's not that bad. He's just, there's no words for that guy. He's just. I gave up with him. There's no use in speaking. That's it. I'm going out again. I think I don't. But yeah, I mean. It's pretty bad. It's pretty bad, but but it doesn't go that far. No, but you have to look at the old videos. Well, how about your pick? What's your pick?
I have Namath, Maynard, Curtis Martin, and Revis. I want to put Klecko, and it's just I think it's hard. I went with Martin over Klecko.
Yeah, so we agree. That's good. That's good. Yep. So I think if you took a poll, that's the way it's going to come out. And let's get back to Corley. I mean, just the way they talk about him. I mean, everybody wants to see him succeed, but we don't really know what goes on behind closed doors. So hopefully he gets a wake-up call from all this bad publicity he's getting. And, we don't want to see guys just go down the tubes. It was the draft choice. He drafted too high, and they gave too much. They gave more capital away. It was just one of Douglas, another bad pick by Douglas. What are you going to do? I mean, I'd like to see him make it, but who knows? He doesn't know how to run routes. He's not a route runner. So we have to hope. Now they got Smith, so maybe he's going to pick up the ball. Darian Smith. I'm pulling for that guy. He's our speed demon. So it's my input for today. And everybody go out and enjoy. Don't be afraid of the warm weather. I mean, hydrate, but it feels great. I mean, warm weather is great. So everybody listen, God bless. Take care and see you next call.
He thinks that Gary needs more shots upside his head. This cowboy hates when you don't believe in achievement. Well, they call him one-punch Brigger. The moon landing was real. They call him one-punch Brigger. His claim is not too dirty. Call him one-punch Brigger. Hated jokes just like his ass. The one-punch Brigger knows it loading me down. Yeah!
What a call from the legend himself, Dave Briga. And how about this attire for Briga, man? Just incredible. What a getup. As good as it gets, man. PBM just sent me this. Prison Briga. Have you seen The Office? Prison Mike? We got Prison Briga. What a look. I don't know how Dave Brigas is chilling in 97-degree weather, though. I mean, he said he was on a hike. That's crazy. Too hot, man. I walked outside for 5 minutes to run some errands in between shows today, and it was 103 where I live. Brutal. All right, last chance to get in the raffle here. Reminder, when you call in, you earn a raffle ticket from now until Jets training camp. A little listener appreciation for the true diehards who are tuned into Jets content in late June and early July. The show will go on. I'm doing 2 shows a day no matter what. This is how I make my living, for better or worse. So as a way to thank you guys for your support, another way to get in the raffle and win some awesome Jets prizes, we're going to give away a signed Beck jersey as part of a daily raffle at the end of the show. We were talking about Jets draft picks. Beck, part of that historic 2000 draft class where the Jets were the first and only team to have 4 first-round picks in the same draft class. Beck, part of that draft class with John Abraham, Sean Ellis, and Chad Pennington. And he's their current radio analyst with Bob Wischusen right now. So signed Beck jersey at the end of the show. We'll give that away. We'll take more of your calls. Lots still to do, but first, I want to quickly pause. And when we come back, we get to your calls. We get to all of it and a whole lot more. Keep it right here. Jake Asman with you on a Tuesday unlike any other. Ladies and gentlemen, the great Robert C. is on the line. Hey, Robert, did you brush your hair with a vacuum?
It just puffs up like they say.
Your hair looks amazing.
Yeah, we got the house remodeled. It's all different. The walls got painted. Whoa, living on a prayer. They asked me to sing Living on a Prayer. Take my hand, we'll make it, I swear. Okay.
Bravo, Robert C. That was a tremendous call. Robert C. has called back in. Hey, Robert.
Hi, Jake. I'm decorating my house, and I haven't been able to call in a while. I just wanted to say hi because it's been too long, calling in. But the house, I'll show you my house.
Where's Tammy, Robert?
I don't know. Tammy, say hi. Yeah.
You want to sing more Bon Jovi for us?
I don't know. Yeah, halfway there. Sorry, I didn't write much material because I just threw this together.
Thank you for the call, Robert.
Hi.
Thank you very much. Robert C. called it twice. What a show. Gator, man. Try explaining the show to someone who doesn't watch the show. Kyle says the fact that Gator has so many wigs laying around his house is awesome.
Why do I want a coach whose fan base wants his head on a pike? Let me finish, okay? Are you...
You know what time it is?
Yeah.
Come on, everybody. Let's do some more rowers. 1, 2, 3, 4. Move that body up that floor. Right, left. Let's go. Come on. Pick that up. Let's get some arms going. Get some stretches going. Come on. 9, 10. Come on, baby. Yeah, you can move your body. Come on, everybody. Get up and do some exercises. Let's go. 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Come on.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10.
I feel great. Come on, let's get some of that up there. What are you laughing at, B-Man? Pick those arms up, kid. Come on, what are you, a whipper or man? I'll give you that first, son.
Oh, shit, that wasn't B-Mac. That was Kev.
Let's get fucking like a monkey. Come on, girls, you guys can do this. 6. Really? Let's see if you guys can do it. Come on, get up. This muscle helps shake the muscle. I'm feeling the burn. Let's go. Come on. Okay, now the other side. Come on. Man, I feel good.
2, 4, 6, 8, 10. 2, 4, 6, 8, 10.
I'm eating.
Beast, you can't out-exercise a bad diet, bro. You have to look good. You gotta be lean. You gotta be mean.
You gotta have some weights in there.
You wanna be scary, don't you?
All right.
It's doing the air.
Have this. Have this. Next caller, let's go. Let's get Bobby Midnight in here. Let's bring him in here. Hey, yo, move and groove. Let's move and groove, shall we? Move your ass. Let's go. 1.
Get your moving. Get your ass up.
Great job, Beast. Way to inspire people to get healthy on a Saturday.
And this is my...
All right, we're back. Appreciate all of you tuned in. Ladies and gentlemen, I'd go to Beast, but he might be sleeping. Beast, are you there? Beast. Beast. Beast, are you taking your daily nap? Beast. All right, everyone. I'm going to sound the alarms. So I apologize if you're listening with headphones in. I've given you an opportunity to lower them. Stand by. Beast. Hold on. Let's switch over different slides because StreamYard is the worst. Beast. Beast, you there? Beast might be sleeping, and that noise might be little Joey. Beast. Also, Beast headline underneath his display name, Warrior, Farmer, World Conqueror, Greek God, Savage. I'm going to get rid of that for the time being because it's blocking too much of the screen. Beast? Beast, you there? Little Joey, can you wake up, Beast? There he is. Wake up, Beast. Let's go. We're working here.
I'm reading. Wow. Whoa, I read some weird stuff in today's paper.
Why are you taking a nap? It's 4:45 in the afternoon there.
And we got a winner. That's what we have here. In the words of the great Biff Tannen, can't we all say it? Well, look at what we have here. And I don't think you want to wear nothing at all. Yeah? Hey, where's that bump boy George McFly? Oh, see, excuse me. He's another boat. He's a real battleship. Yeah, real through a submarine dork. Yeah, what about that? Yeah, that kid Bud George McFly. No, you're not. Let's get to the winner's circle.
The entire universe now has your address, Beast. I just want you to know that. Can you put your light on, Beast, so we can see what we're looking at here on Show and Tell?
The final round. Oh, my God. Jesus. We got a champion here. Very good. Faith Wick, very nice. Holy good heavens. We got world champions here. We got defending three-time world champions, masters of disaster, the great Battle Beast, and probably one of my newest attraction. Alex Skolnick's been on this, his sister's been on this, and many others. The great Metal Allegiance.
Now, Beast,
congratulations.
Do you sleep face down because you have a mark on your head from your pillow?
No, I sleep on my side. And when I sleep, I'm like a big grizzly bear in the North Woods. You wake up. Are you kidding me? What in the hell is this?
Show the camera.
This is like lighting a fire under somebody's asshole for this.
Show the camera.
Unfucking real.
Have some candy.
In the words of Walter Matthau, oh my God. I feel like saying, you're fucking hot water, you schmuck. You'll never get me. See you later, Mr. Gustafson. Now I'm going to go enjoy this, and I'm going to go get me a sausage sandwich. So time for me to go. Let's see if there is one more in here. I see we got one more. Get the hell out of there. Come here. I see you in there. Come on. Get out of there.
Hey, Beast, pretend that thing's a baseball bat and let's see the swing before you go.
Let's see it.
And then we'll let you go enjoy your bag of dicks and sausage.
Oh, whoa. I might find an asshole that'll take this.
Hey, Beast, give us a swing. Pretend that's a baseball bat.
Well, I feel like if I was Richard Gere right now, I'd be like, another swing, crack, another. All right, come on, punk. Okay, I see you in there. Let's go. Now, where is my little screwdriver? I can get this son bitch out. Let me get back to you, all right? Now let's go to another caller and have a little bit of fun, shall we, ladies and gentlemen?
Rejected. Sorry.
All right, we'll check back in with Beast. Glad we were able to wake him up from his nap. More calls right now. Cannonball Eric is up next. What's up, Eric?
Hey, Jake. I want to call and thank you for giving me those raffle tickets earlier. I ended up winning. My phone was like melting. I had no idea what was going on. My screen was blank. It was like 104 when I was out.
Well, I'll tell you what. You earned it. I'm glad that you won. And I already ordered the ring for you. So it should be there, I was told, by Monday. So be on the lookout.
I appreciate it, man. And, I was watching back one of the old shows that if anybody ever called skydiving, you would give them. I go skydiving every once in a while, so I'll definitely have to shout you out next time.
You want to call in from skydiving? That'd be pretty insane.
Yeah, I don't know how it would work. I never brought my phone up there. Like, I could definitely get a video, shouting out the Jake Asman Show as I jump, but I'll try to call while I'm up.
I love it. Hey, whatever you got to do to make it happen, that'd be pretty amazing.
The thing with skydiving is like you have to have perfect conditions to do it weather-wise, so it's really hard to line it up while your show is going on. Luckily, you have a pretty set schedule these days, but it's still pretty hard.
I love it. Well, good luck, man. That'd be sick.
No problem. Yeah. All right. Thanks. See you later.
Eric, appreciate the call. Congrats again on winning earlier. Ladies and gentlemen, home stretch here. Couple calls left. Up next is everyone's favorite nudist.
Well, there's a feller they call Charleston Jets Rube, 'cause he calls the show nude, never wears a shirt. And some folks, they don't think he's got pants on either. It's a gosh darn nudist camp. Let's hear it for that Charleston Jets Rube and see if he has any Jets points today.
Hey, sorry I wasn't able to cannonball, but I see Eric took my place, so I've got about that. But I should be able tomorrow, just to mix it up. I'll call in and do a can opener tomorrow morning.
Absolutely.
Yeah, and I didn't really see his splash too good, but what I did see of it, it didn't look very big, so I'm definitely going to go for a bigger splash.
Wow, calling out Cannonball Eric. I like it.
I'm not calling him out. I'm just saying I think I can do bigger.
All right. Well,
I might be a bigger guy though, so. Probably in this order, but I'm not 100% sure. Dylan Terraman, Sabo, Fiera, and Fialco.
Faria,
thank you.
Yep.
I think that's definitely the four, and I think that's the order, but I'm not sure because I really like Fialco, so I don't like him taking up the rear. But he's not going to be calling in no more because he's a coach.
That's right.
But I just agree with, I like the slow and easy, low profile approach of the team and Glenn. And, kind of like what we talked about the other day, and even to take it a next step further, I think clock management is going to be a big thing. I just remember a lot of games in the last few years where in like the last few minutes, I'm screaming at the TV to take a timeout. They let like 30, 40 seconds go by and then they call a timeout. Like the clock management under Salah, honestly, I think it's the worst I ever seen for the Jets. But anyways, that's all I had today. I was going to try from the pool tonight, but my phone was literally melting. I would put it on ice and it would be good for 5 minutes and then start going into underwater robot again. But I will call you in the morning, sir. Thanks again, Jake. Love you, bud.
Ladies and gentlemen, Charleston Jets Rube. Excellent call. Papa Jet is next. Hello, Papa.
How's it going, Jake?
What's going on, Papa Jet?
Not much. Hey, if I can, I just like to say a few more things about Klecko. The Mud Bowl season, he didn't tear it, he ruptured his patella, and he came back for the playoffs, which is probably a little early for that type of injury.
Definitely.
That proves his toughness. And 3 offensive linemen, Dwight Stevenson, Anthony Munoz, and John Hanna, all kick-ass studs. And all 3 of them say not only did they not like to play, they didn't want to play against them. And Munoz said definitely the strongest guy he ever faced. Strength and hand technique. And the last thing, and I think Brigger would like this, off seasons he drove truck. So that's achievement. But that's probably the end of it. I can't stick up for him anymore, but
he's
Klecko's
deserving, Papa Jet. It's just it's
Yeah.
hard. It's someone's got to be left out, and some have Klecko on. The New York Post had Joe Klecko on their list. They didn't have Darrelle Revis on theirs. I can't put Klecko ahead of Revis, even though Klecko is a little more beloved Jet. Revis is arguably the best to ever play his position. You can have that argument. Like Klecko is an all-time great, but there's a different level to Revis's game. So it's just hard for me to leave off Revis. You can make the argument Klecko over Curtis Martin. You could. I just think it's hard. I think Namath and Maynard are locks for 1-2, and then it's 3-4. It's up for debate.
Yeah, I had Revis and Klecko. I left Martin off, but I love him too. It, like you said, it's tough. And as far as Jake, your Mount Rushmore on your guest, I would say DT. Got to have Matt O'Leary on there.
Yep.
I would say Joe B, because he cracks me up all the time. And maybe Dom C.
Dom's a good one too, yeah.
Yeah, I like him. Like you have him on during the drafts. And Jake, real quick, if I can, so your committee members, right? That's volunteer, right?
Yes. I appreciate the effort of the committee because I can't afford to pay 6 people to slot 64 Asmaniac callers.
Okay, so are those guys that like with the wrenches by their name?
Yes, exactly. Or, like I think like O'Leary or like Green, I like, people that are known in the Jet community, we have the wrenches on them too, so they stand out in the chat. Dylan, etc.
Okay, but as far as the committee that does like the work for the tournament, and I heard rumblings there's going to be something else coming up.
You've heard rumblings?
Like they're going to do something else in June or July or something else coming in? Or
Are
no?
they?
I don't know.
They might be.
I thought we were talking about Asmaniac, the Azzies Awards.
Maybe we are.
Okay.
Maybe I haven't announced it yet.
Okay, sorry, Jake, but here.
No, don't be sorry. I don't know if there is or isn't.
Okay. But Jake,
it sounds like we might have a leak on the committee, though.
Okay. Well, Jake, here's I don't want to get nobody in trouble, but here's my thought, though.
I need to hire Aaron Glenn. There should be no multiple voices speaking on behalf of the Asmaniacs.
But here's my thought: if we can get say if we got a kitty going, because if they do all this stuff volunteer, maybe somebody would, like a bunch of us would donate a little bit, and maybe they can get a signed mini helmet or something, just for saying thank you for them doing all the work,
Oh, that's very nice of you, Papa J. Yeah, I mean, it's out of love that we do, Asmaniac Madness and all this stuff. I mean, Boomtown's different because he helps me out year round, so I take care of him on the side and Gator in that way too. But I mean, shout out to Tom and Rich and Nick and Sham. I mean, it's all just labor of love for the community, that give us fun things to talk about year round because the football team's been so bad.
Because I was thinking, Jake, the Asmaniacs, they gave $800 to get Charles out of the Isabella sweepstakes, and they gave him money to shave on the air, and he was half shaven or whatever. Bobby to lose weight. I just thought it was an idea to,
I like it. We can raise money for the Asmaniac Madness Committee this year. I like it.
Give him something just to say thanks, That's it, Jake.
Papa, great call. Appreciate it. Beard looks great today. All right, home stretch here. There's still a bunch of you on hold, and we're almost at 2 hours. So much for not having things to talk about in June, huh? Best listeners. Craig in Australia. He's one of the greatest listeners a YouTuber can have. He's listening to our show in another country. Hello, Craig.
Hey, how you going, mate? I'm in another hemisphere to the point where, like, did you say it's over 100 there at the moment?
It is. Today is the hottest day in New York City in 13 years, they're saying.
Damn. Is it humid or is it
Yes.
a dry heat?
Humid.
Oh,
It is brutal. It
disgusting.
reminds me of this is every day in Houston that I experienced for 6 years.
Yeah,
so
yeah.
I'm kind of used to it, but like that, this is exactly what it's like.
Well, right now it's like 7:30 a.m. It's in the I'm going to say mid 40s Fahrenheit. It's friggin' freezing. So I wouldn't say I'd praise you, but some happy medium would be nice at some stage. I'd be completely fine with it. If Papa Jet's still watching, I want to say, mate, I'm glad to see you're okay, because he had to go on a plane ride recently in a small plane and he was not excited about it. And he messaged me and he sent me the model of the aircraft and everything. And I said, don't worry, that's one that my dad used to fly in the 70s. It's a good machine. And I'm glad to see that he's survived, that he's in one piece. So looks like we're probably firming for Game 5 for our trip with all the kids.
Game 5.
Back to Dallas.
Dallas.
At home. Yep. So that way we can catch, excuse me, bringing the kids to New York, we have to have the maximum American/New York experience for them because it's a massive one-off. And I want to get them to the baseball. I want to get them to Yankee Stadium. So we'll be able to coincide that trip with the last game of the regular season for the baseball, which I think is Baltimore, something like that. So we're getting closer. We're getting closer, and definitely looking forward to seeing you, my friend. And I'm about to get my signed Sauce Gardner jersey framed and mounted in the office, and you will get the first photo. I promise.
Let's go! I can't wait to see it. How about our guy Herschel getting his Jermaine Johnson jersey framed as quickly as he did?
How good did that look? He got the little pictures on the bottom and the plaque. He did it properly. So I'm going to catch up with the Hirsch when I'm in Melbourne next because I have to. It's just that's how it is. Now, you're looking after my city. Is everything okay? Is there anything I need to know? You checking in on my house?
Look, Hotel Edison has never looked better. I carry my boomerang with me everywhere I go.
I'll keep you safe, mate. Anyone tries to mug you, just remember, throw it backhanded, and you can't lose.
Sherzy's watching the show, Craig. He says you're in the wrong part of Australia. Beautiful morning in
mate.
Queensland, 18 degrees.
Nah, Queensland, it's a whole other thing up there. As I've told many people, it's like our Florida. It's where the theme parks are. It's where you go to retire. But yes, the weather would be nice at this time of year. But I'm catching up with Shearsy sooner or later when I get up to the Goldie. We'll hang out. We'll have a beer or something. So glad to get on. It's that time of year where the time difference is short, which means most of the time your second show is finishing by the time I get up. So awesome to get on. Love you, mate. Love everyone. And can't wait to see you soon.
Craig, down under. The great Craig in Australia. Craig Wilton. Love it. I can't wait to see Craig get that Sauce jersey framed. It's going to be awesome. We've seen Craig set up when he calls from home. He's got the USA flag, the Texas flag. That Sauce jersey is going to be awesome wherever he displays it. I think Hawk wrote in during Craig's call that Craig looked like he was in the Matrix. He did look like Keanu Reeves in the Matrix there with the glasses and the jacket. Good call. Yeah, it was Hawk. Craig just got out of the Matrix. All right, here we go. Ladies and gentlemen, the birthday man is on the line. Indy Jets, happy birthday again, Indy.
Hey, thanks, Jake. Appreciate it. Hey, I want to say I'm really disappointed in Dave Briga. Mr. Achievement himself. He's about the achievements, right? So here's an achievement that I would have thought Dave Briga would have stood on concrete on. The New York Sack Exchange is the only team in 1981 had two players who had 20 or more sacks in the same season. It's never happened before, and it's never happened since. That is an achievement. Come on, Dave Briga, do better.
Just because he didn't have Klecko in the Mount Rushmore?
Right.
Yeah. It's
I
hard.
mean,
You can make a good case for Klecko. I can't tell anyone that puts Klecko in there they're wrong. I think when you're doing it, if it's Klecko versus Martin, you could give it to Klecko. I think if it's Klecko versus Rivas, I think Rivas has to get the nod. That was my big decision.
Right. I just think that as achievements, I was really counting on Dave Briga to stand on his ground right there to say, hey, we believe in achievements. This is an achievement that never happened before the New York Stock Exchange and has never happened since. That is an achievement, Dave Briga. I think we should reconsider putting Klecko on there. But yeah, I just wanted to call out Dave on his lack of recognition of that achievement.
He says, I love Klecko. It's a hard call.
Yeah. All right, Jake. Appreciate it. Thanks.
What are you doing for the birthday?
Thanks for all the
Andy?
birthday wishes. What's that?
What are you doing for the birthday? Anything exciting?
No, I'm going to be taking the grandkids over to the pool once it cools down a little bit because it's 100 here. And yeah, it's too hot to even go to the pool. So I'm just I'll be taking them over probably in the next half hour to an hour. We'll go chill out over there.
Love it. Well, have a great birthday, Indy. We appreciate all your calls to the show. And
all right. I appreciate you, Jake. Thanks, man.
Ladies and gentlemen, Indy Jets checking in. All right. Today's closer is one of the all-time greats. We just saw him send a package to Beastbreaker. And ladies and gentlemen, the big fella is here to tell us more.
Well, he's home sitting in a chair, 'cause his back hurts. On the road, he's sitting in a chair, in an upgraded hotel room. He calls the show his ass is in a chair. His wife thinks he's weird. He got a beard. He loves the Jets, the Super Jets. He's a big fella. He's all alone in a room on a chair. But that's a big fella.
Hey, what's up, man? How's it going?
Big fella.
How's it going, man? Yeah, I sent him a package, and then he starts swinging it around, and I'm like, bro, there's an autograph in there.
Didn't he take everything out of the package or no?
I think he said he did. I don't know. Is he still around or no?
Ladies and gentlemen, let's say hello right now to a man who needs no introduction.
You know what time it is? A Beastbreaker 666. I'm gonna take my fist and shove it up your ass, and then he gotta go.
We got a winner.
Yeah, you see that, right?
In the words of the great Dave Mustaine, he once said, "Oh, I see you with that lazy, you little dickhead. Oh, she's so poor. Oh, hey, want me to go get me a laser so I can shine at it, Dave? I still you bet you little virgin, you little peckerwood." Now, let me play guitar, okay? Thank you.
Now you take care of that thing.
Oh, don't worry, this.
You take care of that thing. That's signed by Dave, so you
Dr. Dave Mustaine.
I call him Dave.
After all, how old is he now? In his 60s, 70s,
Probably,
maybe?
yeah.
Hey,
Yeah.
Dave is Dave. But Dave Mustaine has one of the best lines he's ever said, which is hey, lucky I don't beat your effing brains in and let me play guitar, okay?
Big fella.
Thank you.
Did you think of just signing it yourself and telling him it was signed? Because that probably would have saved you a lot of money.
I can sell this to an idiot on the street for 99 cents.
Hey, Beast, how much for you to eat that live on the air right now? Name your price.
Are
Someone
you
will pay
out
it.
of your league?
Eat the candy.
Eat it. Eat it. Eat it. Eat it.
This is going a little. First of all, I'm a straight man. I am a straight Republican conservative. I'm not an idiot who would do such foolish, ridiculous, out of control.
They don't know what the they're doing. Do you understand that?
Thank
Come
you.
on, Beast.
Now that's my champion. This is an embarrassment. You think I look like an idiot? Oh, Bill M, I got 2 words for you. 1, 2, and go.
Bro, first of all, you've shown your ass on the channel. The least you can do is eat some candy. Come on.
Whoa.
Come on.
Whoa.
The candy, I'm sure, is delicious, Beast. You'll love it. How much?
just-
You could get rich right now from eating a candy. Who cares what type of candy it is?
This is rather insulting. I'm insulted because I feel like Joey Styles right now, just grabbing the mic and saying, "Hey, for 3 years when I was doing my own commentary, I had nobody dragging me down. I may have had workers that I used to work with, but this is an insult to injury, a very low insult to injury."
Beast, you know it's a joke, right? You know it's a joke, right?
Beast, I'll eat it with you.
Beast, you can't let a bag of
Here,
candy get you
I
down.
got candy right here. I'm ready to eat it.
I'm a straight Republican. I'm straight edge. I gave up drinking. I gave that crap up a long time ago because drinking doesn't involve anything. Drinking makes you want to do things. They want to do stupid things like, let's see, go off the wall, get out of control, end up like some kind of drunk on a street. I don't need that.
Right.
This is an insult to me. This is the second worst insult I've ever had ever since I was 22.
Why
Beast, I know you're a
specifically
man.
22?
I know you're a man's man. I know you're a man's man. I just want you to enjoy the posters, man. That was just a
I
joke.
understand that.
Beast, let's have some candy all together. It's called a big fella. It's called a bag of dicks. That's the name of the candy.
That's a little too far. Where's the red? Where's the
Wait
red
a second.
flag?
This is where we draw the line.
Red flag.
You called
like
into
they
the
do
show
for the World Cup. Hey, two things in the World
You
Cup.
called into the
everybody
show
needs to
like
remember.
this once.
The yellow card.
They don't know what the they're doing. Do you understand that?
That's where we
Thank
draw
you.
the line.
Hey, like Trump just said, Trump right there. That's my president right there. I'm not gonna take crap like that anymore. See, now I'm gonna start playing harder. See, I don't need my blood pressure going up. I was already in the hospital.
Over candy, Beast? Your blood pressure is going to go up over
11
candy?
days ago?
It's going to taste good.
11 days ago, I was sitting in the hospital with an IV in my arm, having to have blood work done, having to have everything taken care of, and now I gotta do all this again.
Over
This
candy?
is a low blow.
It's candy, Beast. I think you'll be
It
okay.
don't matter.
What do you mean?
This
It's
is a
candy.
low blow.
Big Phil is a fan of yours. It's a funny joke. Have you ever
understand
laughed?
that, See, I know where to draw the line in the sand.
Why
So
are
you're
we
like
drawing
Triple
the
H.
line here? He sent you a bunch of signed items for the attic. You're going to draw the line out of candy?
Oh my God.
Bill M says you're a wimp, and he called you a loser, Beast.
Go fuck yourself.
Whoa. Family show.
I'll kick you in the nuts and see how you like
Whoa.
it.
Mike says that you're about to cry. Beast, prove him wrong.
I've been to hell and back on more multiple fronts than your sorry ass could combined. Let me draw the line for you bunch of to all the haters who hate me. You all can't. You couldn't carry my bags, lace my boots, or touch my jockstrap on your best effing day.
Beast, stop. I love you, Bleed. I love you. I do. That's why I sent you the stuff.
Let me get this out for everybody so people can get an understanding of where I come from. See,
Okay.
I may grow up on the meat streets, but to all these jackasses who have no balls the size of the little teeny weeny grapefruits, I've been to war. I've seen hell at different times. I've been to the 7 gates. I've been to the 8 circles. But this is more better than an insult. And Nuku, you couldn't lace my boots because, boy, I would DDT you, Jake the Snake style, because you don't know what it's like to you'll go to distance with me. You're not a man. You're just a little boy. Enough.
We bring Gator onto the conversation now. Gator, how are you?
I'm good, and I probably shouldn't be calling in because I'm driving here. But Beast, hey Beast, do you remember when I sent you that shirt and I sent you like a 6 extra large, and you got really upset, and it was just a joke? It's just a joke, man. I'm really sorry I did that, and then I sent you the 2X. You got to thank Big Fella. He got you something amazing, and he's really sorry that he he sent you something he thought you'd think was funny, and don't be upset by it. It's just a joke.
It's just a joke, man.
He sent you a gift that's like amazing. I would love to have that Megadeth thing. I'm like jealous. So thank big fella, and don't be sad, man. Throw the dicks out the window. Be done with it. Don't. It's just a joke. Remember the big shirt I sent you? I didn't mean to hurt your feelings. Yeah.
It's just a joke because we're friends.
It's cool, Beast.
Let's see. I got a temper on me like I'm a police animal. I can't, sure. I've done a lot of crazy things in my life.
Beast,
a lot of crazy things. This is
we know. And you're the manliest man in the AsMANIACS universe. You all know it.
We're friends. You're a man's man. I know it.
Yeah, but this
is a joke.
Son of a bitch on the planet.
Very low.
You've got trophies and all that shit. And
you're the global
like
enforcer.
Of the Addict in the whole universe. So please throw the bag of dicks out the window and enjoy the poster or whatever the thing is.
Yeah.
Well, in my day when I used to play baseball, I was playing baseball when I was 16. I had a killer arm. I broke Roger Maris's 1960 record when he was with the Yankees. I studied a lot of different things in my life. You know why I gave up baseball at age 25? Because I couldn't work with assholes who couldn't play a game of ball. They wouldn't even lace their boots up. They couldn't even get their jocks straight. They couldn't even do anything.
Yeah.
I carried it.
Shit. Hey. I'm talking to you.
Hey.
Enough.
Hey.
Enough.
Enough.
Man up.
You're the global enforcer, damn it.
Dude.
Well,
Man up. Put your big pants on.
If I can
throw the bag of dicks out the window.
Throw the bag of dicks.
Get back to work. Come on.
Throw the bag of dicks.
Give him the little Joey.
Throw it.
No, he can't have it.
Throw it out the window.
He can't. No, I got AC going.
Throw it out the attic.
All right. Calm down, you son of a bitch.
Be that global enforcer we love.
There we go.
My God. I've done like 38 intros for you. Do you want your next intro to be about a bag of dicks? Throw it out the window.
Oh, don't worry.
Come on.
I know where it's gonna go. Where you at, you little shit? Come here.
Yeah.
Do not give it to little
there
kids.
You go.
Do not give it to little kids.
No.
Give it to the liberals across the street.
That's right.
Jeez.
Let me get back to you. I'm gonna find this around here. Somewhere around here. Oh, here we are. Oh, okay. As they say in America.
Oh my God.
Landing.
Oh my God.
Throw it out.
Everybody, not up the for game.
That's the first time I saw
Free those dicks, Pete. Free those dicks. Free them. Let them fly.
Let that dick fly.
Let all the little kids in the neighborhood pick the grass.
You feel better?
Ooh, that was a frisbee action. That was a little Marty McFly from Back to the Future 3 when one guy was going, "You, hey, lighten up, jerk." Right, strong words, bro. You got enough brains to back it up with just a pie plate.
Beast, is that?
Hey, just leave my friends alone.
Is that the first time your hand was on a bunch of dicks?
Oh no! I'm not. Hey, I am a straight edge Republican conservative.
Don't make it worse.
I voted Trump 3 times, and I'm not going to say this again.
Right, trying to get something done here. Send us back.
You know what I'm gonna go do? I'm gonna go take. You know what? I'm gonna ignore this chat because this is a bunch of garbage and full of phony baloney poo poo. I'm gonna go put some cold water on my face, and go have a
Okay.
sausage sandwich and enjoy the rest of my day. And then you know what I might
Sandwich
just
isn't a good choice.
I'm all fired up.
Hey,
I might
Pete.
just
Hey,
take some time to do some shooting and some do.
Hey, hey, Pete. Hey, before you go, you gotta thank Big Fella for what he got you.
Gracias. To Big Fella,
You're
muchos
welcome.
gracias.
You're more than
hermano.
welcome, Big. You're more than welcome, Beast.
Muchas gracias.
And thank you, Gator,
Muchas
for
gracias.
mediating this.
All right, thank you very much. Now, let's close out the show and then do what we have to do. I'll talk to you.
Well done, Gator. Great contributions. We might have lost Gator. Big Fella, well done. Did we lose Big Fella as well? Big Fella?
Okay. You there?
Are you there, Big Fella? There we go.
I'm here. I'm here. Yeah. I wanted to see if some Asmaniacs wanted to get together and pool some money together so we could get. So you said you could get in touch with Stack, right? I wanted to send him his jersey and some of your merch and stuff like that because I know he's not around here right now.
Yeah, where
if
is he
you could-
specifically based right now, right?
No, but you said you talked to him, so I would like to get some stuff together, like a Fields jersey, some of your merch, stuff like that. If we could get like a pool together or something like that, so we could get some funds together. You could get the jersey and send it all in one big thing. That'd be great.
I love that idea. Yeah, I was messaging with Stack, but it was unclear on where he is exactly. We'll figure it out. Then we'll talk off air. We'll get that situated. It's a great idea.
Okay. All right. That's cool. That's cool. That's all I wanted to say. Beast is goddamn. I didn't know that little bag of candy could do so much damage, man.
Beast's inability to comprehend humor is incredible.
But he's so funny. That's the craziest part about it. Like, he's hilarious.
He doesn't know. He doesn't know he's funny. That's the thing.
Yeah.
Because he's always in that character. Because that's him.
That's true. I love him. I hope we can get him to the game this year, the Carolina game. We'll see what happens, but hopefully. Anyway, that's all I got, man. Have a good show and enjoy. Hopefully you can get yourself out of this heat. You know what I mean?
Big Fella, you're the man as always. And have a good show. Well, guess what? We're done here, folks. It's raffle time. But first, let's shout out the super chats here. We've accounted for all of these. JoJo, Beast, most of us love you, LOL. I do. Just laugh and have fun. JoJo, you're in the raffle for 2. Uno Jets, you're in the raffle for 2 with a Let's Go Jets. David is in the raffle for 2. Always appreciate David's support of the show. He's not even a Jet fan. He's tuned in every day. JJ Watt, who you saw up close with the Texans, reminds me of what Joe Klecko brought to the Jets. Both were dominant at multiple D-line positions, relentless players, and great leaders. It's a great comp. The difference is, though, JJ Watt, 3-time Defensive Player of the Year, right? So he's like a first ballot Hall of Famer. Klecko, he has 1 Defensive Player of the Year. Watt, Aaron Donald, and Lawrence Taylor are the only players to have won Defensive Player of the Year 3 times or more. Just to give you a little context on J.J. Watt. But sure, I mean, Klecko was obviously dominant in several of his amazing seasons. He's a great player. I'm not trying to minimize Joe Klecko. It's just when you're doing a Jet Mount Rushmore, someone has to inevitably be left off that is deserving. So it's tough. Also, I hope Beast has a tremendous dinner. Sausage sandwiches after he was sent a bag of dicks by Big Fella. I'm sensing a theme. On that note, let's give away a signed Anthony Beck jersey, shall we? It is time for the Asmaniac raffle.
It's time to announce the winners of the weekly Asmaniac raffle. Let's spin the Jake Asman Show Wheel of Champions and find out which Asmaniac is winning an epic prize.
That is correct. It is time to find out who's going to win a signed jersey. As always, if you are the winner, please email me, AsmanJake@gmail.com, your address, where to send it to, and I'll do my best to get it out as quickly as I can. Let's pull up the Wheel of Champions right now. If you gifted a membership or you sent in the required super chat or you called into the show, you were accounted for in our list of names. We have 46 total entries here, and all that needs to be done is spin the wheel. So music, please. Thank you again to everyone who supports the show and allows us to do all these daily prizes. We've done a lot. We might have a full week next week where the raffle is just every day, morning and afternoon. We combine the entries for a top prize Monday through Friday. I got a bunch of giveaway ideas I'm working on here. And you guys support the channel year-round. So when it's slow right now, it gives us an opportunity to do fun things like this for everyone who's engaged. With that said, if you don't win, don't worry. All your entries account for the weekly raffle, which this week features a signed Aaron Glenn, signed Sauce Gardner, and signed Justin Fields jersey. We'll do that next Monday. All right. It is time to spin the wheel of champions. Good luck to everyone, and let's find out who wins a signed Anthony Peck jersey. The winner of the jersey is listener PBM. Wow. Now let's call for what it is. Ever since Purple Belt Mike tore his ACL, he's won 3 raffle prizes. So I think if it was up to Mike, he would say, I want to win all the raffle prizes, and if it means I got to sacrifice my ACL, I'm in. That is now a signed Andy Beck jersey, signed Wayne Corbett jersey, and a Justin Fields jersey that PBM has won over the last 4 days. Ladies and gentlemen, PBM is on the line.
Purple Belt Mike, he loves the Dark Knight. He's got a green pool and he jumps right in. Maybe someday he'll get a brown belt, but for now he's just that Purple Belt Mike. Purple Belt Mike, it might be purple, but he can still kick your dirty ass.
Man, you tearing your ACL might have been the best thing to ever happen to you, Mike. All you do is win prizes.
I feel guilty that I keep winning, honestly. Oh, man.
Maybe it's a good sign for the Jets. You had to sacrifice your ACL for us to have a winning season.
Someone joked with me at work saying, I'm not a real Jets fan because I should have sacrificed my Achilles. I was like, oh, that hurts in more ways than one.
Hey, Mike.
But, yeah.
Would you say that you're on a tear?
Oh, dude. Fuck. I should play Lotto. I'm going to play Lotto right now.
That's unreal, man.
Right now.
Well, at least your man cave's going to look nice with all these framed jerseys you're getting here.
I mean, some sick ones, dude. Backed, Corbett. I got the Namath football, the Namath helmet.
That's right. You did win a Namath helmet earlier. Yeah, you won a lot of good prizes, man. You're on a roll.
Bam. Yeah, pretty awesome.
Well, congratulations, Mike. Obviously, we're thinking about your recovery, and we're glad that you keep winning in the meantime.
I can't believe I keep winning. This is insane, dude. This is awesome.
Ladies and gentlemen, PBM.
You get the fuck out.
Man, good for Mike. That's awesome. What a show. Thank you to everyone who sent in a membership or super chat, everyone who called. You guys were great. We accounted for everyone. Congrats again to Mike. Thank you to our guests for the first hour of the show. First-time guest, Mike Giarraputo. I thought he was awesome, so definitely listen back if you tuned in late. Good Jets analysis with him. On that note, I want to thank you all for being a part of our show. We are back tomorrow. We'll have a show in the 10 a.m. hour. Jeff Parles is back, baby. A little summer check-in with Jeff at 4 p.m. Eastern tomorrow. So the return of Jeff, and we'll have some good stuff for you guys on the show tomorrow. Again, thank you to everyone. You guys are the best. Could not do the show without your daily support. And we're going to keep rolling, baby. Join the Patreon if you want to get connected with the community. Get on Discord. Get your name in the intro. 20% off every merch item. Another great way to support the show as well. Until next time, I'll talk to you guys soon. Have a good one, everybody, and go Jets.
What's going down, dude? I'm at a park right now, and I'm pumping out food. A lot better than Chipotle. Bar food stuff, bar food, and wing dingers and stuff like that. We're getting pounded. We don't have a dishwasher yet, so we're doing dishes. You know, what are we banging on Joe D today, or what's the scoop? I want to ask people if there are any Jet fans out here. Oh, hey, wait a minute. Maybe we have a Jet fan. Hey, come back here. Are you a Jet fan? You are? Affleck? And maybe you are. I guess not. Probably not.
Nice hair, Jackass.
This is Jet Talk here.
Jets are trash, pink eyes. Bobby!
I really don't give a crap, you cartoon character.
Speaking of crap, I got food poisoning from those wingdingers.
Bobby made my day. My man, Bobby Midnight. God bless him. That was awesome.